Hey, hey, hey! It's your favorite pal from the moon, Milkthrow. Oh boy. Sorry, I didn't mean to go Mickey Mouse on you. Ah! But I'm really feeling it today. One of the reasons is because it's my birthday. So it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna celebrate with a tier list stream. We're gonna celebrate with a tier list stream. As always, I was checking my audio. I always do like a little test before I start streaming. But I like to check it on stream in case anything happens. So I'm gonna be sharing this on my friend's Discord just because it's a tier list stream, so I always feel it's kind of appropriate when you do it with people. If not, you can just hear me rant like a crazy person. It's usually what I do on this channel anyways. This thumbnail is bananas, by the way. It's funny though. Okay, so let's see. Happy birthday from Flux the Forsaken. Thank you very much. Oh boy. So, I've been getting together some tier lists throughout a while now. And you guys know that I always have like a big one. Sorry, my throat is killing me. I'm gonna drink some water. This is another reason why I've been postponing the streams. I've been really bad with the snoring, so it's kind of affecting my throat. But we're gonna push through. Anyways, let's get this terrible party started, okay? So we're gonna start with something simple, and I don't know how familiar people are gonna be with this, but I already did my Plants vs Zombies playthrough here on my channel. One of the longest series in the channel, actually. It took a very long time to finish. So let's get started. I don't play this game like crazy competitively like so many people do on YouTube. There's people that play this for a living, straight up. But I do play it a lot with my family. I think I've said it before. We have a computer set up on the living room, and sometimes we just listen to music, or we hang out, or we talk, or we even eat when one of us is playing Plants vs Zombies. So we just share the profile. So we have like 1,000,000 hours put on this. Anyways, I'm gonna get started with this because it's easy. It's video games, something that we're completely familiarized with. So the first one would be the pea shooter, and this one is basically the most, standard of plants. Single pip of health, and it usually takes 10 of them for the zombie to go down. There's so many good options here, and I think the pea shooter is pretty mid, but it is reliable, which is good, and the recharge is very it's not insanely fast, but it's super fast compared to other shooting plants. Just for how reliable it is, I think I'm gonna be putting it on B tier. Maybe it feels a little bit high there, but we're gonna see some very mid plants, so it's gonna make sense. Oxygen birthday. What the hell? No, this is just no, this is the auto translate on the YouTube chat. Happy birthday. It says oxygen birthday. That's hilarious. Yes, I blame YouTube too. I was like, oxygen? Okay. Yeah, the sunflower, you already know it's gonna be an S tier because without the sunflower the game doesn't function basically. I've seen people do a run without sunflowers. Nintendo Capri-Sun did it. And it is very interesting. You basically over-rely on low sun casting weapons and TSPPs like insta-kills. like the squash. The squash is such a goat in any type of run that you do with PVC, but we're not talking about that. Anyways, without the sunflower, it really doesn't get as much fun. You can get really creative with some of the sets if you use a lot of sun. Obviously, you can do low sun casting runs as well, but I mean, where's the fun in that? I guess it is kind of fun in a way. I wrote happy with an I instead of a Y. Okay, yeah, I saw that. I just had to click it. Okay, so the cherry bomb. This is interesting. This is one of the more glazed plants in my opinion. I don't really like it that much. But it certainly can get you out of trouble if you run into it. Like, let's say one of the zombies is about to touch your your home base, and you don't have access to a squash or anything like that. Besides, it covers 3 rows, around like 3 rows. And just for that, I guess I'm gonna leave it here with the pea shooter. It is very situational, but it is reliable. I'm gonna be putting the walnut, the single walnut. I think this is gonna be our first C tier because it is solid and it is cheap, and the recharge isn't the worst, but it is outclassed by its siblings in so many ways. The pumpkin, you can put a plant around it, and the tall nut, there's zombies that can all go over it, like the pogo zombie or the javelin zombie. So yeah, it's gonna be a C, but it's very good if you're trying to maintain like a low sun run. It's very good. It's just situational. Now this one, the potato mine. Interesting. My mom likes this plant a lot, and I really underestimate it. I saw its potential when she started using it on the digger zombies, and I didn't realize that this kills a digger zombie when it comes in contact with it, so it doesn't go to the other side of your yard. It is also incredibly cheap. It's the cheapest plant in the game without counting the free mushroom. So just for that, I think it deserves to be on A. Otherwise, I would have put it in B. But just the fact that you can use it with the minor zombies too. Yeah, like this is really good. Situational, but I respect it because it's cheap. Now this one is overpowered as all hell. It's 175 sun and it freezes the enemy. It doesn't have splash damage like the... oh, there's no... Okay, here it is. It doesn't have a splash damage like the winter melon. But... I mean the winter melon, just to have it, you have to spend 500 sun. This is 175. I think it's solid. Yeah, I definitely use it in most of my setups if I'm not going for the winter melon. Now this one. Many people are divided on this one, the chomper. I don't use the chomper almost at all. The best use that I've seen for a chomper is basically like a squash or something like that. Because it's a plant that can one-shot a zombie. Unless we're talking like a gargantua or a zamboni. But it takes so long to swallow a zombie. And it's 150, it's super expensive. And it charges fast, which is important. But I still don't respect this plant at all. I'm not gonna put it at an F because I do see some merit to it. So I love Mario. Yeah, we don't have a Sonic plant here, I don't think, so Mario Bros are winning today. So repeater, I think this is the perfect example of an A tier. It's much better than the pea shooter because it's 2 Ps instead of 1. And it's double the cost, it's very fair, it recharges fast, and it is a very reliable long-term plant. You're most likely going to be combining this with the snow pea or the torchwood. If you don't know what to pick, and you are not at a roof level, and sun isn't a problem, this is basically your bread and butter for any stage really. But if we're gonna talk about goats, this is the best plant in the entire game, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna go crazy over this. So the puff shroom is free. The thing is, it doesn't do that much damage, and it doesn't have a lot of reach. It only reaches over 3 squares, but the recharge isn't that terrible. It's actually pretty fast. You can put as many as them as you want, and they are only awake at nighttime, but if you are a heartless bastard like I am, you can choose them in the daytime levels and just put them all over the place so the zombies start eating them, and you gain some time so you can collect more sun and get better plants. Now, these are war tactics that the worst of warlords wouldn't do, but I do them because I've never seen somebody do that. I'm the person that does it, and it's such a horrible play that it's so effective. It makes me drunk with power. I'm gonna go to war right now. Anyways, really solid. I think everybody knows that this little mushroom carries the nighttime levels when it's harder to get sunlight. Now, the sun shroom, I'm a little torn on it. During my playthrough on YouTube, I saw that they are not really that necessary for the nighttime stages. Yes, they give you some faster than sunflowers, but if you manage to put a lot of sunflowers by stalling with puff shrooms, you basically you'll see that it's more effective in the long run to use sunflowers than sun shrooms. The only thing that works against you if you do that is if the stage is too short, it's not gonna be worth putting sunflowers instead of sun shrooms. Still, just for how fast this gives you sun, I'm gonna give it a C tier, same as the walnut. Now the I don't remember, fume shroom, the fume shroom. Okay, so this is part of, if you use this plant and you combine it with this upgrade for the gloom shroom, it's one of the most powerful plants in the entire game. Now the only thing that drags this from not being an A or an S tier is that it's a nighttime plant. So it's cheap, it's only 75 sun, but you need another 75 with a coffee bean to use it effectively. During the daytime, I should say. And even more, you have to use 150 to turn into a gloom shroom, which it's very worth it, but it's not that much of a bargain. You really have to work your way up to that gloom shroom, and especially if you want to defend it with a pumpkin. So this, the best that it has is that it has the ability to pierce through the whole row, so it can hit multiple zombies in a row. Man, that is one loud song. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna put it at a B. It's kind of situational. This one, I don't think I should even rank it. It has one purpose and one purpose alone. That's to get rid of tombs in the nighttime levels. And it's really just kind of in the way if you're trying to do like an endless survival, or it just takes space, so it is useful, but it's like almost artificial difficulty for the levels. I'm gonna put it at a D because it is useful, but it doesn't feel, you don't feel attachment to this really. I guess it is a little satisfying when the tombstones get eaten, but hey. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at this and I forgot I had this. I mean, I didn't forget, but I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the stream. I have a Mr. Beast Feastables peanut butter flavor, and I've been wanting to try it on stream just for the meme of it. Maybe Mr. Beast will show up and he'll see me throw up. Not really. I haven't been eating. Oh my god, there's a phone call. Let me just take that real quick. Sorry about that. Birthday call. Goddamn. Okay, that killed my momentum. Anyways, let's speed this up. Hypno Shroom, CC Hypno Shroom. Let's see, I think the best use for this is to get a football zombie or like a bucket zombie. And it's okay. It needs a coffee bean to be activated during the daytime. If you get a disco zombie, you get incredibly powerful. It's gonna be a B tier because it's kind of in the middle. Now this one is underrated. Only 25 sun and it's a long distance shot. The disadvantages only can be used at night. It's not worth using during daytime. And like I said, circumstantial, so C tier. Happy birthday, thank you. Also Omori mentioned, yeah. Good times. You know, I gotta say, walking you through to Omori was almost as good as playing it the first time myself. Let's see. I don't remember what this is called. I guess the ice shroom. I almost don't use it. It's very cheap for being such a powerful weapon. And I'm gonna say maybe like B tier. Now this one is powerful, but the Doom Shroom. Yeah, no, but the thing is that the crater it leaves, it takes such a long time to be healed. Gonna put it at B because it's more powerful than a cherry bomb, but it can only be used at nighttime unless you use a coffee bean, and the crater is such a pain in the butt. So the lily pad is basically like the grave eater. It's more of a gimmick than a plant, but I mean you gotta use it kind of like the sunflower. It's almost like required. But I'm just gonna put it here. No, I'm gonna put it at C at least because you can play without this and you just use like kelp or the sea shroom, but it's more satisfying to use regular plants on the water. So now this one is the goat of all goats. Other than the puff shroom, this is the best plant in the weapon, in my opinion. It can one-shot basically every zombie that is not a gargantuar. It only costs 50 sun. It attacks backward, it attacks right in front of it. And the recharge is fast. And if you use the imitator, you can have two of them. So you can really do a lot with this one. Sorry, my voice is completely trashed, but I gotta push myself. Now the tree pitter. Jesus, talk about controversial plans here. I've come to like this, but 325 sun is insanity. The only time that this feels like good to use is when it's given to you, either by a conveyor belt or in raining seats, when you don't have to pay 325 for it. Maybe even in Bass Breaker. It is fun to use, but is it a good plant? I don't think so. I'm gonna put it at D, but at the very beginning of D just because it's fun to use. Don't strain too hard. You don't want to permanently damage your throat. Listen, I almost don't get to use my throat on a day-to-day basis, and I really need to. I can't live as somebody who can't talk, so I'm gonna push myself a little bit. If it does feel scary, I'm gonna stop. So kelp. This is basically the squash of the water, and it's only 25. I don't use it. I would rather just put a lily pad and a squash, even though it's 75 sun, because this takes a plant slot. It's better than the D tiers, so I'm just gonna put it at C. Now the jalapeno. The thing about the jalapeno, a lot of people prefer it over the cherries because it takes out an entire row. I understand that, and it's better for emergencies, It's not quite as destructive as a cherry in my opinion, but it has more potential to save your other plants. I guess if I had to rank it, I'm gonna put it at the very beginning of B. It's almost worth it to put at an S. Now this one is an A, because the spikeweed takes care of any cars, it one-shots them. You cannot put it on the water for obvious reasons, it's a shame, but you don't really need it that much. It damages zombies periodically and fast, with fast DPS, and if you put like a walnut or a tall nut or a pumpkin in front of it, it's basically a deadly combination, and for pretty cheap. So the only thing that's better than this would be the upgrade, but it's a little bit overkill and it doesn't do more damage, it only makes it more resistant. Torchwood, situational. It is very fun to use though. You would probably use winter melons rather than repeaters and torchwood because it's more effective, but torchwood and repeater is so much fun to use, especially if you use the Gatling P, but it's situational still. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of C. What's the most kissable flower? I mean, look at the lips on this one. Any of the shooters really. I mean, this one also kind of has like the puckered up lips, but I don't know, it's a little thin. You kind of want big lips to kiss, don't you? Oh, I love this song. Oh god, I miss Sonic and the Black Knight so much. Tall Nut. Another A tier. The only thing that can stop this is any of the cars, which the spikeweed can take care of that, or gargantuars. I guess also the digger zombies can go underneath them, but it's just the better of the walnuts. This one I don't even use it. The recharge is incredibly slow, even though it's free. It's not worth the plant slot. You better pick something else. Now the Plantern. Again, it's more like a necessity. It's only 25 sun. If you're good enough, I think if you just use one, you probably can see most of the stage, even though it's covered in fog. But I'm gonna say, again, it's gimmicky like this one, so D tier. And besides, if you have enough sun, you can just use a blower, not a blower, a blubber, because it's a clover and a blower, so it's a blubber. So just for that, I'm gonna put this at C. Situational, but better than the Plantern. Now the Cacti freaking sucks. It's not quite an F. It's basically the same as a pea shooter, except it can take down balloon zombies, but you can take down balloon zombies with the blowbear or the cattail. And this is 125. 25 extra sun for a mid plant. Ooh. A blower, huh? Yeah. Spiritually, the plant that I would be. Because I suck. Okay. Sorry. I'm getting a little aggressive. Sorry, YouTube is kind of giving me trouble sometimes. Where was I? No, yeah, this sucks. Is it worth an F? You know what? Just because it's so inconvenient, I'm gonna put it at an F. Now this one. Oh no, I was about to talk about the split P. So the split P is incredibly situational, but if you play the game like a million times like I have, it's the most fun plant to experiment with. Basically, if a zombie goes over and you put it behind the zombie, you can hit it with 2 Ps instead of 1, and that's only for 125 sun. but it is very situational. It's kind of okay for digger zombies, but it's worse than mid. It is situational. It's fun to experiment with, but it's not good. Don't talk about my friend like that or I'll kick your ass in Minecraft, implying that I wouldn't enjoy that. Anyways, the start fruit. I think the minigames Seeing Stars is the one that made us see that this plant has a lot of potential. Now, it doesn't shoot straight, it doesn't shoot back. No, actually it does shoot back, but it's weird. Now, the shape of the star is where the projectiles are gonna go through, so it shoots directly up, directly down, it shoots backwards, and diagonal up and diagonal down. If you stack a lot of these, you basically cover so much ground, even though the zombies aren't necessarily on the same lane as the plants, so it's pretty good. I'm gonna put it at A. I usually get it for my normal plant setup. Now the pumpkin, this is one of the most important plants that you will get. If you play any of the survivals, you know that this is required. The only thing that it cannot cover are I think it can't cover spikes, and it cannot cover cup cannons. Other than that, it can cover every single one of your plants, and it acts the same as a walnut. One of the best inventions that I've ever seen for this type of gameplay. And it's only 125 and the recharge is slow, but if you use the imitator you can have two of them. So pick your poison. Now the magnet, it is situational, and the more you play the game you see that this isn't as useful as it presents itself. Usually it's 175 sun, because you are gonna need this during the daytime stages and you're gonna need a coffee bean. But the thing about it is that if you stack enough enough firepower, you don't have to debuff the zombies. So usually I would put it at an A. I'm just gonna put it at the beginning of B, just because you can completely omit it and be okay. Now this one is the same as a lily pad, except it's on the roof levels, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Cabbage bolt. It does the same damage as a repeater, not as a pea shooter, but it's slightly slower, and it arches, so you can hit certain type of zombies that you wouldn't be able to hit, and they are optimal for the sunroof levels. Situational, so I'm just gonna put it next to this one. And sorry, I had to burp. The kettle corn is better actually, because it can dispense butter that slows down the zombies, and you can upgrade it if you put two of them into a popcorn cannon, which is basically the same as a cherry bomb, except it recharges over time and it doesn't cost any sun. And this is very important for survivals, but it's a little cumbersome, so I'm just gonna leave it at the top of A. Situational, but it allows you to use nighttime plants during the day, and if you want to use this, one of the better plants in the game, you're gonna have to use it, so I'm just gonna leave it here. This one is underrated, the garlic. If you're trying to use a low-cost setup, this is one of your best friends. I'm gonna put it with a hypno shroom. I think it's very underlooked. I basically sometimes can play the levels without this if I just use guerrilla tactics and overexploit my sound production. So, Omori again. And yeah, I think this is gimmicky and it doesn't work. Finally, we have a worthy F tier. Now you use this to farm money during the stages, but it's super slow. It takes one of your plant slots. It's not really that effective, and there's way better tactics to grinding money in the game, so this is the face of F tier in my opinion. I need to buy this OST. Yeah, it's super solid. Melon Pult. I think it's worth putting these on S tier because the only reason that people put the winter melon in S tier is because of the freeze effect, but the freeze effect wouldn't be that good without the melon pulse splash damage, and with the splash damage you can freeze 3 rows effectively with just one shot. So I think they go hand in hand. I can possibly just compare them. They are one and the same, and most of the good qualities come from the melon pole itself, not the winter melon. I don't remember putting this one. Anyways, Gatling P. Again, it's fun to use. 250 on top of a 200 repeater. It's a lot of money, and it's fun to use with the Torchwood, but it's more of a gimmick than something reliable. I'm gonna put it at top of C. Maybe at the bottom of B rather, because it's still solid. Twin Sunflowers, it's very worth it if you're using it on a long level or survival, but you gotta really think about if it's worth bringing into every single one of your battles. Now this one is the mother of all S tiers. Actually, I think I'm gonna go here with the Popcorn because it's situational and it costs a lot of money. But for any of your survival runs, this is gonna be what you need to use. This one, on the other hand, it's the culmination of... Yeah, it's giving me trouble again. How fitting that that one glitches out. This is the culmination of taking down small time zombies, including the balloon zombies, so this makes the cacti and the blowbear completely irrelevant if you always use it. And it's homing, it's very fast, and the only thing that you need to put on top of it is lily pads, so very deserved S tier. This one sucks. It just attracts money and it basically goes hand in hand with this one. They both suck, so don't even fret about it. This one makes the spike rock more resistant and it stalls the gargantuan zombies, which is why it earns a place here. And the imitator, I'm gonna give it an S tier because that way you can have 2 pumpkins or 2 squashes, and that's immediately something good. I'm sorry for going incredibly acoustic over this, but this is a game that I've played, I think, most of my life, and now I played it on stream. And I play it with my family, I played it on stream, I play it by myself, I played it on Steam, I played the first draft of the game, and I've seen the remake become infested with AI, so I'm just trying to celebrate the good times instead of looking at the bleak future. So many in S ranks, bro needed S+. No, the only one that could probably earn an S+ would be the buff shroom and the squash. Other than that, I think this is all earned. But you know, yeah, I think this is pretty much it. Maybe this is a little generous, but I just use it so much. And they give it to you so early. Let me just check my stream real quick. How's everything going? Yeah, going okay. Okay, so let's talk about something that you may or may not be familiarized with, and that's VTuber design. Now, the thing about my design is that I can't draw for shit, but I don't care, I wanted to use something that I drew myself. And when it comes to VTubers that I watch, I always think that the most important thing about a VTuber is the personality, but art is a huge part of what a VTuber is. And now here are some gimmicks, some assets, some design choices that we're gonna go over, and I'm gonna tell you why I enjoy them or why I don't really enjoy them. Now, the thing about this is even if I like or dislike one of them, it doesn't make any of the VTubers any better or worse than the others. It's just something visual, so just wanted to leave that clear. Anyways, overcomplicated design. Say it with me, simplicity is key. Now, I understand that many types of anime like the whole overcomplicated gimmick, like adding tons of wings, lots of chains, lots of tufts of hair of different colors, a lot of intricate clothing design, all of that. So maybe if you're into that, you're into overcomplicated. Maybe the key here, the keyword here is over. If it was just complicated, it wouldn't sound so negative. But I'm gonna give this a nah. I just prefer simple. If you remember back in the day, the Pikami days, that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed her design. She was just simple in the best of ways. That was one of her more notable characteristics. Your personal preference, not fat. Yeah, exactly. Royalty, godly, mythical. I'm a big sucker for just normal type of presentation. Like, if you were to compare like a space princess to like a simple baker, I'm gonna be leaning towards the baker, or just someone that is like a convenience store clerk or something like that. I just think that's more charming than giving it some crazy lore or making it like crazy overpowered, or I don't know, basing it on a type of mythical being or any type of mythical lore. I still think it's okay because it gives it into a lot of imagination. It gives into, if you want to expand into the lore, that's okay. But like I said, I prefer simplicity. Now, mismatched socks. I think this one is cute. Some people say that there is some significance in mismatched socks, that some people relate it to neurodivergence. Some people relate it into just being like messy. Some people just think it's cute. Now personally, I think it's kinda cute. It's not like I'm about to jizz type of design here, but I really like it. It's not a requirement, it's solid. Cyber android / robotic. Say it with me, death to all clankers. Nah, I'm just kidding. I do like certain type of robotic features. Like there's this VTuber called Cecilia Immergreen who's supposed to be an automaton, and she has like those door creases, and it's very interesting. I like it, but I don't know, maybe if you're trying to play into the whole AI type of thing, like virtual intelligence, I don't know. Probably not my thing. I'm just gonna say it's K because it's very situational. Mismatched design doesn't bother me. I think it can be cute, but different lengths, OCD goes bonkers. No, that's not for... That doesn't bother me at all. Let me just search for something here, see if I can find it. I'm trying to find the design. No, not this one, the other one. It's a design that I think it's okay. What the fuck? No, good thing I didn't show that on stream. Ah, fuck it, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. No, it doesn't have that. Never mind, I'm talking out of my ass. Thank you for wasting my time. Me. Okay. No, I just think it's cute. So... Oh, here we go with the controversial takes. Lolly slash gremlin. Okay, so hear me out. I guess this just refers to the body type. Like small. And like a big head maybe. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I know my Kamiyoshi Henia probably fits into this type. But like I said, I just like more simple and maybe grounded in reality characters. And besides, everybody knows that I love hags, so I don't think this is a requirement. It's not gonna get me crazy, it's not gonna offend me. So I'm just gonna put it at nice because it's okay. It doesn't offend me. Wears jacket incorrectly. This is really good. It gives it personality. It gives probably like the assets a little bit of opportunities to show the physics engine with the clothing and everything. Besides, I really enjoy jackets. I think that's... Sorry. I think that plays into the simplistic type of design rather than, I don't know, like dresses or robes or like yukatas or anything too overcomplicated. I think this is simple and good. Horns. This is okay. The thing is that the horns that come to mind are probably like devil horns or like ogre horns. Those type of horns. If it's like more animalistic horns, I think that's more charming. If it's the type of like devil or succubus or any types of those horns, I don't enjoy it that much. I'm gonna go with K because I'm very neutral about this. It really depends on how it looks with the rest of the model. Asymmetrical design. Hey, here's what you mentioned. I think this is... Okay, I do like symmetry. I like it a lot actually. But to make a character purposely asymmetrical and make it work, especially for a VTuber who's basically a 2D image, and you're gonna be playing around with that thing, so you're probably gonna rotate it or mirror it, just trying to place it on the thumbnails or giving the PNGs to your friends to use or stuff like that. So it's gonna be a challenge, that's for sure. If you purposely make your model asymmetrical, it's gonna be a challenge. But I think I admire it, but personal liking, I think it's nice. It's just nice. It's not gonna drive me crazy. We're gonna get there. Hairbands. Now this is very OG. This is very 2000s and 90s. I don't think we see hairbands too much anymore. Let me just try to search it and see some anime characters with hairbands. I think this is a gimmick that has been dying out a little bit. We just don't see it as much as we did. Yeah, no, we don't see this anymore. I guess it's like... I don't know. I'm a little indifferent. It's cool. But... yeah, I don't know. Like, am I dying for it to do a comeback? Not really. I'm just gonna give it an okay. Oversized sleeves. Now we are talking. Doesn't a Hololive character have that? Yes. I think a lot of them do. This one has the more prominent ones. Her name is Crony. I think this is basically the hairbends type of character that comes to mind when you say VTubing. Now it's okay, and it does give the hair some volume, but I don't know, it's just okay. The weird hair, that is. Oversized sleeves, yeah, I really like this. It usually comes with maybe maids, because maids have like these long floral type of dresses. I don't know. I really like them. Even if it's just from the jacket, you can have like jackets with oversized sleeves. I think it's very cute. Hey, we ran out of music. Okay. Hair, ears. Okay, this is a yes. This is a big, big yes. Let me just fix the music. I don't know why this is failing so much. I think it's because of my ad blocker. But if there's one thing that I don't want to show on stream is ads from my area. So you're gonna have to put up with that, YouTube. Yeah, hair ears. I think it's super cute, and the example that they use here is super solid. Gives a lot of personality. Reminds me of the gimmicks of the 2000 where they make really outrageous hair, but that makes them so recognizable and iconic. I think that's the spirit of anime, really, if you're gonna design your VTuber with this type of things. Random hair clips. I don't know about the word random, by the way. I think this is based on one of the Danganronpa characters. I'm gonna go with nice. I just think it's cute, but if it's too overcrowded, it definitely takes away from it. Now Snaggletooth, that is solid. That is what I'm talking about, bringing in the Lucky Star energy. That's what I like to see. It looks very smug too. I enjoyed Pikami a lot because of her sharp teeth, which I think it should be around here too. So, well, when we get to, oh, here it is, fangs. Yeah, anything that fucks around with that, with teeth like this, I really enjoy it. I don't think I've ever said this, but I've always imagined my model. If you take out the bandana, I want my model to have like sharp fangs, and he uses the bandana because he looks less scary with it. That's kind of the thing that comes to mind when I use the bandana on my mascot. I just think it's really cute. And headphones, I'm not crazy about it. If you want to design headphones around the theming of your character, or if you're part of a company, like around the company or something, I guess you can be a little bit creative about it. Otherwise, I guess I'm just indifferent about it. The twin tails, I'm gonna say molto bene, because I do like it. But it really does depend on the rest of the character. Just twin tails aren't gonna cut it. I'm gonna have to see how it works with the rest of the clothing, of the character's proportions and all of that. So I think it's solid, not quite my favorite. Cat-like ears, specifically cat. So Now I guess this also includes like fox or wolf or anything like that. I'm gonna say this is super solid, but I'm not sure because many outfits, alternative outfits, use this. So it changes the original outfit to do like a cat girl type of outfit. But if you use it on your base model, I don't know, I think this is a better option as an alternative outfit rather than your base. So I'm just gonna put it here in molto bene, I think it's solid. Horny? What? Is this like a... Okay, it's a trope. Not so much a design characteristic, I think. Now, I'm gonna be honest with this. Most of the VTubers that I follow aren't horny. I mean, at least not publicly. Everybody knows how much I hate Twitch. And whenever I think VTuber and horny, I just think of a bunch of... Okay, I'm just gonna say it how it is. A bunch of Twitch Thots trying to farm clips with horniness and all of that. It can be used for some funny moments or just outrageous moments, but it has to be like a precision strike. You can't spam this special move, you know, it's special for a reason. I'm just gonna leave it above okay and just into nice, because this is a characteristic that is abused like no other. Animal ears. Yeah, the same as cat ears. I just think it's solid no matter what. Uniform. Is there a specific one for a maid? Let's see. No, I don't think there is. This is just a uniform. Either way, it's gonna be a yes for me. Twitch Stats, hey now. We're back in the PewDiePie days, huh? I mean, maybe it's a little bit harsh to say, but hey, it's how I feel. I just hate Twitch so much, you know? I don't care if they're in YouTube spiritually, they are from Twitch in my mind. Now the uniform I really dig, because it can be like a military uniform, it can be a maid outfit, it can be like a sailor outfit, it can be like an office worker outfit, it can be like a marine outfit, it can be... I don't know, any type of, like a military outfit even. Oh, I already said that one. I just think it works a lot. Probably not on base, but it's super solid and varied, so I'm gonna leave it there. Body harness, garter, or straps, I think that's a little too much, my man. I think I'm gonna put it at nah. I've seen some okay models with leather, but it's not necessarily like a garter or a strap. Like, let me search for one real quick, but I'm gonna disappear for a second. Okay. See, this one's okay. I think it goes with the whole military look. And yes, maybe it's a little bit horny, but I just like how the leather works. But it doesn't look that much BDSM to me. It's okay. I mean, I guess it depends on how you use it. So I'm just gonna leave it at now. Rips, wear, and tear, that is super solid. I really like it. Oversized tail. Oh, again with the furry allegations, huh? Like an oversized tail. I think it's nice. Well, I guess... Let me just go up a little bit here so you can see me. No, wait, I don't do it like that. I gotta go into the other app. And let me just... wait, how do you do this? I forgot. Display settings. Okay. Yoing. How do I go up? Oh, I haven't used this in such a long time. Movement. Oh, here it is. Yeah, sorry. I've been using a new app for showing my avatar, and I'm still not used to it. I have a big ass tail, as you can see here, so I guess it would be hypercritical of me to say that I don't like it. But I mean, I do. It's not really fluffy though, so. Yoing. There we go. Like I was never there in the first place. Yeah. I haven't been playing around much with VTuber, I think that's what it's called. But solid app, in my opinion. Very solid. Can you stop interrupting my shit, YouTube? I'm trying to listen to Alex Yeek. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I'll just say that. Sneakers. I don't like I don't like heels or any type of dress shoes. I think sneakers are the better option overall. Night sky, galaxy, or constellation. If we're talking about the background, yes. If we are talking about like a type of texture on the skin of the character, I think it's gonna look noisy. I think it's gonna look overwhelming. I don't think I'm gonna like it. I'm just gonna put it at nice to leave it ambiguous enough. There I am. And scars. This is interesting. I usually don't see a VTuber with scars, but I really like it for... Oh, no, I'm lying. It's usually for guys. Guys really like using scars on their models to make them look badass or whatever. I just think it looks cool because I like Berserk. I also like Samurai, Rurouni Kenshin and stuff like that, so I'm gonna say it's solid. Dark Sclera. Now, I hate this one. I kind of like it in certain type of characters if it's like an animal. It doesn't have to be completely black. It can be like a offset yellow or something like that, like a deeper yellow. But usually, when I see this, it's on those type of models that are like demons, succubus, or any type of edgy type of character. And it's so off-putting because it goes hand in hand with, well, like the Twitch type of personality that I already discussed. So I don't really like it. I'm gonna put it at Bliat. It's gonna be like such a rare thing if I do like a VTuber with a black sclera. I think it can be interesting in characters, but when I see it on a VTuber specifically, nah. Same with the womb tattoo. If I see a womb tattoo on a VTuber, like, I kind of can fuck with a little bit of a tattoo. But specifically a womb tattoo, I know you do fancily on the side. Come on, be honest. Be honest with me. Isn't that the first thing that comes to your mind? I guess for an alternative outfit it can work. Maybe if it's something that you use sparingly. But nah. Mascot, it's solid as fuck. I think every single VTuber should have a mascot for the audience or a mascot for the channel or whatever the fuck. I think it's it's a great opportunity for fan art, for merchandise, to familiarize yourself more with your fans, to give them a little bit of personality. I think it's solid. extremity gradient. It kind of goes the same with the dark scalera and womb tattoo thing. I just think it's trashy. Like, this is the equivalent of having a tramp stamp, you know? This is unhinged. But if you're trying to make your model a little bit creepy, like if you're based on a type of monster or something like that, hopefully not a devil or succubus, I think it can be okay. I'm gonna put it at least at nah. On natural skin color, the same thing. When I think of a blue VTuber or a purple or lilac or whatever type of skin that isn't like human skin, unless you're like a furry, I don't think this is a good look for you. Because with a furry you can experiment with the fur, but if you have a natural skin color, I mean, maybe if you're trying to be like an alien or like a hybrid, I don't know. But it usually goes in hand with this, so I don't dig it that much. I'm gonna put it at nah. I walked away for a moment and told you hate some of my favorite things, black scalera and womb tattoos. Listen, I think it looks okay for drawings in general. But for a VTuber in particular, the first thing that comes to mind are those OnlyFans, Fansly, and those other type of VTubers, you know? The ones that thirst trap extremely hard, so I'm not about that life, you know? Besides, I already said I like simplistic design better. Whale tail. I can barely hear this. Whale tail. It's just a different type of tail. I think of Bao and Saba with this, but I'm gonna put it at okay. Just a human based as fuck. I mean, you can be creative with just having a human. You can give it animal-like qualities, or just put like the fangs or the hair ears, or make it like a shrine maiden or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a demon or an animal or anything like that. I think the best VTubers, not the best VTubers, the VTubers that I've enjoyed the most when it comes to design are usually just plain human. At most they can have like animal hair, animal ears and all of that, but I just enjoy the being creative with human characters more. Ahoge, I've been a little on the fence with this one. I do enjoy it. A lot of my favorite ones have an Ahoge. But to pretend that it has any type of meaning, it's just a cowlick. Come on, it's just a cowlick. A lot of people say that an Ahoge means like a scattered brain type of personality, like a foolish, silly character. At least when it comes to making VTubers, I don't think so. People just use it because it's a stylistic, I don't remember the word, type of choice. It's just something to put on your character if you think it looks okay. I'm just gonna say it's okay. Big hat, base. The only bad thing about the big hat is that it's gonna cover a lot of the background, so it might be a little bit in the way of the gameplay or the chat or anything like that. But if you can make it work, then by all means I think it's gonna be great. I'm thinking of a sun hat or a witch hat or anything like that. I think it's gonna look good. Maybe even a cowboy hat. Choker, I gotta admit, I know this one kinda goes hand in hand with the ones that I put in the in lower tiers, but I like it better. It's just biased. I think the choker is great, but not quite as good as these other ones, so I'm just gonna put it at the beginning of nice. thigh highs. I mean, in order to see the thigh highs, you are most likely gonna have to wear a skirt too. And I think skirts are okay. It has a lot of movement for a VTuber character. I just think it looks good. I'm gonna put it here. Pointed elf ears. I'm kinda torn on this one. Because if you have it, you're most likely going to be attaching it to lore. If you just put it on your character without an explanation, I don't know. I'm just gonna put it at the beginning of... No, because I kind of like how they look. You know what? I'm gonna put it next to Horny because it's about how you use them. Piercings. Okay, this image is fucked up. It's a little overly exaggerated. I think it can work if you have like maybe something a little bit subtle. But in real life, you know, I've never been crazy about piercings or any type of jewelry that involves metal because I feel it gets so dirty. But this is art. This is 2D art. I think you can just look aesthetically pleasing with some piercings. I'm gonna put it next to the mismatch socks because it really does depend how you use it. Bodysuit. It really depends. I mean, if you're themed about, if your theming is about like, I don't know, like a beach or maybe a superhero. I'm gonna put it at K. Oversized booba. Hear me out. Hear me out. You're probably expecting me to put this either really low or really high. But I think the keyword here is oversized. I think the first time that I looked at a VTuber with really big boobies, I said to myself, well, that's a little too much now, isn't there? So I didn't like it. I'm just searching for something. Is this AI? Ew. This one. This is the first one that I saw. It's Hololive, by the way. And I said, like, that's a little too much, my guy. The thing is, I don't hate it. I'm not crazy about it. If you want to have big boobs, I mean, it's an aspect of fantasy, you know? Go crazy. But they might be a little... If you purposely make this into your model, a lot of people are gonna come just for this, you know? Expecting a certain type of personality because of this. So it's like shooting yourself in the foot if that's not what you're looking for. I'm just gonna put it at K. That wasn't even too bad compared to the ones, to some of the indies I've seen. I know. That's just the first one I saw that was like, well, that's a little too much. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it at K. But at the bottom of K, it's borderline, come on, son. Colored hair streaks. Solid. What is an anime character without like brightly colored hair? I did say I like simplicity and like just a human type of thing, but I don't know, have a little whimsy in your life, you know? Heterochromia eyes, completely overrated, but it can be cool. I'm just gonna put it right next to mismatch socks, asymmetrical design, and I just think it goes with this, you know, very situational and dependent on how you do it. I do think it's a little overdone, so idol slash singer. This, more than a gimmick, is a talent in my opinion. If you do know how to sing, if you do know how to dance, if you know how to be an idol, I think that is a very valuable asset and something to be admired. And these are talents that you can work on. So just out of pure respect, I'm gonna put it in the beginning of nice. Symbols in eyes. This kind of goes hand in hand with overcomplicated design in my opinion. I do like eyes that look distinctive. But if you do too much, like you're oversaturating your model, just overcomplicated it for no reason. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of K because it can work. You just gotta be clever about it. And I think that's about it. Let's see my tops. Hair, ears, yeah, fangs are the better ones, so I'm just gonna put it here. Mascot is super solid too. Just a human. Yeah, I think this is it. I almost want to put oversized sleeves here, but nah, I'm gonna leave it here. Yeah, I think that's pretty okay. I guess you can see that I have a type that I don't enjoy that much with what I put in the last ones. Like I said, it can be fun on character design, but on VTuber specifically, I don't dig it. I'm overrated? Fucking I wish. Okay, now let's do this one real quick. Bishoujo characters, let me just... Okay, moving on. This is gonna be the last one before I go into the big one, that is the Amazing Digital Circus. I think it's a pretty funny one. This is the one that made me want to make another tier list stream. Let me just drink a little bit of water. Ooh. Did you get stuck again, you freaking freak? Okay. You know, YouTube, I love you, and I wouldn't change you for Twitch ever. But you really aren't helping your case right now. Okay. So, this is white people phrases, or white people slang, however you want to call it. It doesn't necessarily mean white people. It's just kind of funny lingo that you see around, I guess, older generations, maybe. I did my custom tiers here. I made this up. So, Ohio Seal of Approval, Ida Holy Crap, Cracker Barrel, Mildly Caucasian, A Swing in a Mississippi, and White Guilt. I think that's pretty clever, I don't know. Okay, let's get started. The first phrase is, "This is the final straw." I think that's mildly amusing. If somebody was actually mad at me and said that to me, I will find it kind of hard not to at least crack a smile, you know? A swing and a Mississippi is solid. I'm gonna put this at mildly Caucasian. It's right in the middle, kind of amusing, not really like memorable. Freak. I remember a YouTuber I used to kind of like, not so much anymore. She would always say freak instead of saying fuck because she wouldn't swear. She was like a family oriented channel. And I always thought that she meant like freak as in F-R-E-A-K. So she was just calling people freaks. I didn't realize it was basically like a censored word for fuck. I think it's pretty amusing. I don't know what type of person comes to mind when I see the word freak. Maybe that one Sonic fan that was like, "You freaking freaks!" I'm gonna put it at Cracker Barrel because if you are legitimately upset and you say freak, I mean, I'm just gonna laugh. It's pretty good. Holy macaroni. I'm just imagining like a sweet old lady or like a lovable grandpa saying this, like, "Look, grandpa, I found $5 on the street. Holy macaroni, little Billy." It's kinda cute, I like it. It's better than Final Straw, so I'm gonna leave it here. How do you like them apples? Ooh. Oh, this one's fantastic. Now, I'm completely biased toward this one because it reminds me of a Louis C.K. bit when he was talking about the movie Good Will Hunting. I've never seen the movie, but the way he talks about that scene, I mean, it's the first thing that comes to mind when I hear, "How do you like them apples?" Like you're trying to be all tough about it. This one definitely goes into Ida holy crap. Not quite the top of the list, but I think it's funny. Wise guy. Oh, I can just see like a New Jersey type of guy saying this at a deli. It's like, maybe you caught them in line, maybe by accident, and he's like, "Take a look at this wise guy." Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, this is better than Frick. I'm gonna put it at the beginning of Cracker Barrel. Oh my god, no, this sucks. This is the embodiment of white guilt. This is Reddit in a nutshell. This is the epitome of Marvel type of humor. Well, that just happened. I mean, it's basically a meme at this point, alongside with "He's right behind me, isn't he?" Like, my god, well, that just happened. I mean, I say it very cheekily. I say it very, very ironically when I reference this. Oh, look! He's right behind me, isn't he? He's right next to it. It's like they knew. It's like they knew. These two are horrible, but I mean, I say it in the same way that I say like Hacktua and 6-7. I just can't help myself but to reference it because it's so stupid. I love it. Oh my god. What a flip. What a flip. Very white. I kinda like it. It kinda feels like a bit 90s-ish. Not quite that great. I'm gonna put it at mildly Caucasian. Look what the cat dragged in. Oh my god. This is like something like a policeman would say in a PG movie. This is mildly Caucasian. I'm gonna give them a piece of my mind. I think this is just more general, not quite so white. It's gonna be a piece of my mind. Nah, it's a swing on a Mississippi. I don't like it that much. Groovy, dude. Groovy. What do I do with groovy? I mean, if you were to hear this nowadays, I feel like 9 times out of 10 it will be ironic. I don't think it's that funny. I'm gonna say a swing in a Mississippi. Let's rock and roll. Can you be more that than this phrase? Come on, gang, let's rock and roll. Like reaching for your keys or something like that. Oh, this is beautiful. I love this one. I think this one has the first Ohio seal of approval. Picks up phone. Yellow. Oh, I love this one. This is just cute. Like if I was having a bad day and I was like a telemarketer or something, and I'm like, I fucking hate my job. I have to keep bothering these people with my questions and everything. And somebody picked up the phone and said, "Jello," I would be like, you know, there's a little bit of good in this world. There's a little bit of Winston still. I'm gonna give it a night. Holy crap. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I think we have all felt this way sometimes. I like it, it's funny. I think there's one that is kind of similar that is better, so I'm just gonna leave it at Ida. Holy crap. That tears it. Nah, that's a swing and a Mississippi. Hang on, buckaroo. Oh, I like this one. I like this one. Like if somebody said this to me, I would be in a good mood. Like, hang on, buckaroo, you forgot your change. You and what army? This is kind of like almost white guilt. But it's not that bad. I'm gonna leave it at a swing and a Mississippi. What in tarnation? I mean, a cowboy obsessed person like me, I gotta put it at least in Cracker Barrel. HE double hockey sticks. This is funny, but I don't think... It depends how you use it. This could probably destroy me when it comes to humor. If they drop it at the right time. Like, I don't want to go to HE double hockey sticks. Yeah, I'm gonna put it at the beginning of my league Caucasian. Timber! Nah, swing in a Mississippi. Get a load of this guy. I fucking love this phrase, and I use it so much, basically as a vocal stem for anything. Like sometimes sometimes I'm just watching something stupid on the computer and somebody says something like cringy or something like that, and I'm like, get a lot of this guy. No, not HE double hockey sticks. That is so 90s coded, isn't it? Yeah, I always say like, get a load of this guy. I even do like a certain hand movement. Like I put the hand like sideways and I point a thumb to it and I go, get a load of this guy. For Pete's sakes. The good thing about this one is that a white mother will have one of the most heart-tearing like news of her life said to her. Like, oh, I'm afraid I just ran over your dog and I don't think we can bury it because it's just sprawled all over the street. And she's gonna be like, oh, for Pete's sake, who's the one who did that? That is the type of scenario I imagine this phrase in. I'm gonna put it in Ida, holy crap. Check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. That's just trying too hard. Get a load of this guy is a top tier line. Yeah, it deserves to be at the top. This is just trying too hard. I'm gonna say a swing and a Mississippi. Ah, fiddlesticks. Ooh, I like this one. Oh, fiddlesticks. I don't think it deserves Ida, holy crap. I'm gonna put it at the beginning of Cracker Barrel, but it's solid. It's very solid. Golly gosh gee. I say this a lot, but very ironically. If it was just golly, I would put it higher. I'm gonna put it at mildly Caucasian. You're really busting my balls here. Yes, it's like I'm watching the freaking Sopranos or something. You're really busting my balls here. This is like a more serious, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm just gonna put it at the beginning of Ida, holy crap. Oh, we found it. Listen here, pal. Yeah. Yeah, this is the one. Where would you even hear this? Like, the first thing that came to mind was like an angry father at a gas station. Like, maybe he needed to go to the bathroom really bad, and the clerk is like, I'm sorry, you need to buy something before you go. And he's like, listen here, pal, I'm about to shit my pants. You better give me the key right now. This is the scenario that came to mind with this one. It's like, it's so aggressive with such soft language. It's so funny. It's like so passive aggressive. Like you're about to lose your shit. Chump. Just chump. Bunch of chumps. Again, this is like something a grandma would say. I'm gonna put it next to frick. Boom shakalaka. Oh, I love this one. I say it a lot. I say it a lot. I do it very ironically. Again, it's like grandpa and grandma language. Nah, it's a little too energetic for grandma and grandpa. This is like parent lingo. Boom shakalaka. Yeah, before wise guy. No, wise guy is better. You can say that again. Oh, again with the Reddit type of language. Now this is white guilt. You bet your sweet beepy I do. I like it. It's so stupid that it becomes kind of funny. I'm gonna put it on mildly Caucasian at the very top of it. Hate to burst your bubble. This is something that you will hear in like Spider-Man movie or something. Hate to burst your bubble, Mysterio. You could say that again. Hate to burst your bubble, Buster. Yeah, it's mildly Caucasian. It's solid. Teamwork makes the dream work. If I heard this when I was having a bad work day, I would be filled with so much rage. It wouldn't be cute, it wouldn't be endearing, it wouldn't be charming. I would be like, I'm about to be in the newsletter, you know? But it's not like offensive, it's just like something Ned Flanders would say. Yeah, it's around groovy, so I'll swing in a Mississippi. Oh, here it is. See, this is better than just saying Buster. You're on thin ice, Buster. Yeah, this is Idaho. You're barking up the wrong tree. Another, like grandpa type of lingo. Yeah, I'm gonna put it next to macaroni. It's solid. Whippersnapper. Nah, this is a swing in a Mississippi. This is a made-up word. This doesn't mean anything. This is outdated, and it's out for a reason. Watch it, Einstein. A little passive-aggressive. This is like something a bully would say in a... What, in a 70s movie or something? Like, it's... not even that bad. Swinging a Mississippi, yeah. Oh, I love this one. See, this is the complete opposite of teamwork makes the dream work. Just gonna sneak right past, yeah. I love this one. This one puts a smile on my face. This is said by the nicest of people. Like, I swear to God, this is just like a guy that wanted to, I don't know, like to get a chocolate bar that was next to you at a grocery store. And he's like, just gonna sneak right past you. That would be so funny. I love this one. Oh my god, I love this one too. Why do I have to love so many of these? These are just so funny. Excuse me? Oh my god. This one's funny, but it's not quite as funny as the other ones. I'm gonna put it at the beginning of Cracker Barrel. Holy cow. More grandpa language. Next to final story, oh yeah. Sweet giblets. Ooh. This has to be like a southern type of thing. Like, let's say you pull out a big carrot from the ground and your farmer friend just goes, "Sweet giblets, that's one big carrot." Yeah, mildly Caucasian. Hot Belgian waffles, you are doing way too much. Swinging a Mississippi. Maybe even white guilt. Hot Belgian waffles. I don't dig it, man. Nah, white guilt. I don't like it. Oh, brother. Yes. This one's solid. This just reminds me of Listen Here, Pal. Like, you're losing your shit, but you're not being like... You're not using harsh language. Oh, brother. I dig it. Jesus H. Christ. Mildly Caucasian. Nice try, pal. Not as good as Listen Here, Pal. Nice try, pal. Mildly Caucasian. Radical. Oh, this was outdated 20 years ago. Who would even use this anymore? It's the same as groovy. Right on. I might use this unironically from time to time, if I'm hyped enough. Sorry, I keep burping. I know it's gross, but like I said, this headset doesn't have a mute button. Right on. Yeah, around here. Tubular. Totally tubular, dude. The same as groovy and radical. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. I feel like you're trying a little hard, but it's not quite as swinging a Mississippi. Let's put it at the very last of mildly Caucasian. Crud. I think it was Fry from Futurama that says this a lot, right? Crud. Oh, crud. Mildly Caucasian. It's not quite as good as Freak. No shit, Sherlock. A little aggressive. I mean, it has the word shit, so it's one of the few phrases here that actually has a swear word. That kind of takes the what do you say, the specialness out of it, because the whole idea is trying to be like, I don't know, express yourself without swears. I'm gonna put it at the last of mildly Caucasian. For crying out loud, I love this one. This reminds me of Listen Here, Pal, with "You are about to lose your shit." Oh, this one's so good. I use it a lot. It's a better "for Pete's sake." Oh, for crying out loud, yeah. You just sound like you're so done with everything. This is Ohio seal of approval. Over my dead body. Ooh, this is cringy. Over my dead body. I've heard it being used in certain media. I say no shit Sherlock decently often. It is an aggressive phrase though. Yeah, it is aggressive. Like, what I'm trying to rate here is like funny stuff and like charming. Not so much like the aggressive level, or I don't know. Over my dead body. Nah, swinging a Mississippi for me. Well, I'll be darned. Mildly Caucasian. Hickory-doo. Again with the southern expressions. There's so much better ones. I'm gonna put this in a swing in a Mississippi. Hold your horses. Cracker Barrel. This is like charming grandpa language right here. Gee Willikers. Maybe... Here's the thing. Gosh, golly gosh G and G Willikers. I think G Willikers is a better combination than golly gosh G. Not by a lot though, so I'm gonna put it at around here. Yeah. Beginning of mildly Caucasian. Dang nabbit. It can make me laugh in a good day. Awesome sauce. I use this one because I'm an ironic piece of shit. Around wise guy, yeah. That was awesome sauce. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Another like wholesome thing that your mom would say to you or something like that. Yeah, around here. Cracker Barrel. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Bro, this actually sucks cock. Put it at white guilt. I've never heard somebody say this. I've heard variations, but a monkey's uncle? What the hell are you talking about? You're dang skippy, I do. You're doing too much. This is a swing in a Mississippi. You kiss your mother with that mouth? This one's good. This one's good. It's around fiddlesticks. You kiss your mother with that mouth. It's so sassy. Shake a leg. It's my first time hearing this. This is so funny. Instead of break a leg, shake a leg. This is so cute. If somebody said this to me, like a nice teacher or something, I will be so happy. Yeah, I'm gonna put it around holy macaroni. Buzz off, will ya? I just imagine like a grandpa feeding popcorn to or breadcrumbs to the pigeons at the park, and you're like, hey old man, do you have the time? Buzz off, will ya? Mildly Caucasian. Yeah. I don't give a rat's ass. I mean, ass isn't quite as offensive as shit. And this is another I'm very done with your shit. It's as amusing as holy cow, I think. Oh. This one is very ironic when I use it. Why I oughta. Yeah, it's good. Around wise guy, yeah. Made like a banana and split. The only reason why this one makes me laugh, it's because it reminds me of Tourette's guy. Why don't you make like a banana and shit? It cracked my shit up even to this day. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with me? My sense of humor is stuck at like 13 as a 13-year-old's. Oh, it's so funny. But make like a banana and split. Yeah, it's kind of like that charming grandpa type of expression. Around sweet giblets, yeah. Made like a tree and leaf. That one's a little less good. Yeah. Mildly Caucasian. Really screwed the pooch on this one. I love this one. Like, what I like about this one is, like, again, exaggerating the situation. Let's say that, I don't know, you had an accident and you... No, that's too dark. I shouldn't say that. Okay, yeah, let's say this. Like you were putting a bowling ball on the table, but you slammed it too hard by accident and you broke the entire table and you broke a ton of expensive shit like a laptop or something that was on top of that table. And your dad would be like, yeah, you really screwed the pooch on this one. Oh, it's so funny. Around why I oughta, yeah. Drat. Nah, swinging a Mississippi. Not as good. Oh, rats. This one's good. Around hold your horses. No, you know what? Around shake a leg. Yeah. Scoot. This one sucks. Swinging a Mississippi because it's not offensive. It's just nothing. Cowabunga, dude. I mean, Ninja Turtles. I feel like Cowabunga has outlived Groovy, Tubular, and Radical purely because of its significance in the Ninja Turtles. So I'm at least gonna give it the very end of Mildly Caucasian. Now you listen here. Okay, you will never be listening here, pal. The pal carries the phrase. Now listen here. It's okay, but it doesn't have the zest. It doesn't have the zhuzh. Yeah, make like a tree and leaf around there. Scram is much better than Scoot. Yeah, Scoot doesn't have the it doesn't have the sauce, you know? Let's blow this popsicle stand. Yeah, this is a swing in a Mississippi. That son of a gun. I like this one. Around G. Willikers, yeah, mildly Caucasian. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. Oh, this one's fantastic. Around what entire nation, yeah. It's silly. Beat it, twerp! Oh, it's Beaky from Fairly Odd Parents. I was like, who's the one that says twerp a lot? Beat it, twerp! Mildly Caucasian. Well, ain't that just a pity? I mean, this is kinda sassy, if you use it right. Mildly Caucasian, around golly gosh gee. Whoa there, fella! I love this one. I love this one. Because, again, try to pair it with the severity of an actual scary situation. Like, let's say somebody pulls a gun on you and he's like, come on, wallet and cell phone. And you're like, whoa there, fella. I love this one. Yeah, it's gonna go in Idaho. Yeah, around here. Idaho, holy crap. Scram! Again, better than Scoot. Around Boss Off, yeah. Watch it, punk! Again, very grandma coded. But it doesn't have the punch. It's kind of the same as twerp. Beat it, twerp. Watch it, punk. Yeah. Cool your jets. I love this one. This is like the PG version of Calm Your Tits. This is so funny. Like, whoa, cool your jets. I love Scram. Scram is good. At least it's in the positives, but it doesn't drive me as crazy as this one's. Cool your jets. It's around frick. Yeah. Oh, this one's fantastic. Newsflash, buddy. Again, you know what does it for me? It's when you are so filled with, I don't know, like rage or exasperation, but you still don't swear and you want to keep it like civil, but you still you just still explode into something. It's like, newsflash, buddy, that is not going to happen. This one does it for me. It's so funny. One of the best Omori tracks right here. One of the more iconic too ones. So you spend a lot of time in that section of the game. So yo, it's gonna impregnate your mind. I almost said mouth. It's gonna impregnate your mouth. Take a chill pill. This is sassy, but it's like yeah, around fiddlesticks. It's solid, almost like the holy crap, but not quite. And there we go. I'm just gonna read my top ones and my least favorite ones. So my favorite ones are Let's Rock and Roll, Get a Load of This Guy, Listen Here Pal, Just Gonna Sneak By Past Ya, For Crying Out Loud, and Newsflash Buddy. And my least favorite ones are, well, that just happened. He's right behind me, isn't he? You can say that again. Hot Belgian waffles, and, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Yeah, no. This is very Reddit coded, the very last ones. Oh, was that an earthquake? No, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, before we move into the big one for the for the Amazing Digital Circus, I even have like a PowerPoint presentation. I'm gonna be opening up my Mr. Beast Feastables and trying a little bit of it. I've been really trying not to eat too much sugar, and this is milk chocolate. I know he has like a dark chocolate, but I wanted to try the peanut butter one because most people say that this is the best one. And it's the blue type of like wrapping. So it's the newest formula. Let me... Feastables. Peanut butter. Yeah, it's this one. So, let's see how it is. Okay, it is very sweet, but the saltiness of the peanut butter really helps it out. I don't know why eating chocolate to this Omori OST is making me feel like I'm a kid. You know? A lot of people wanna hate on everything Mr. Beast does, and I think a lot of the hate is pretty justified. But I'm gonna say this on a very unbiased, in a very unbiased type of way. This is okay. Like, it's tasty. But I'm also gonna tell you this. It says 55% saturated fat on a daily value. You know, yeah, this is pure fat, my guy. 42% sugar. Ingredients: milk chocolate, soy, natural vanilla extract, peanut sugar, palm oil, which is terrible for you, and salt. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be sticking to more healthier options, but for a one-time thing, this is okay. I feel like this is gonna completely destroy me and it's gonna give me a ton of acne, but I like it. I mean, if I was a kid, I would probably buy this more often. It's solid. Okay, that's enough for today. It's my birthday. I'm allowed to eat candy. You know, Mr. Beast? Yeah, you earned one of these. Obviously not healthy at all, but hey. Purely on the flavor aspect, pretty good. Now let me drink some water, because this is a lot. Feastables. Okay. So we've had our fun. Now it's time to get serious. I want to preface this by saying something. A lot of people take this show a little too seriously. I'm gonna get a little passionate, but I really hope nobody takes this as being a little, I don't know, taking this a little too seriously. Let me just fix this real quick. Yeah, we're gonna need the full screen here. Here we go. And I can just check my notes this way. This is great. Okay. So, more than a ranking, I guess I'm just wanna talk about this. Admittedly... Oh, sorry, it's the chocolate coming back up. I'm fucking disgusting. Okay. This show was a big part of my life for a short amount of time. I think around episode 5 to 6, I started to get really into it. I had watched the other episodes and I was mildly interested because of the character designs and I guess some of the themes that are kind of interesting. And some people have said that the writing is a little too millennial. And I agree, but it doesn't feel like overly cringy to me. What I'm trying to say is that it appeals to me and a certain type of demographic that is very, I guess, a little bit too terminally online. But we're gonna talk about it. If your opinion isn't factually correct, you will be placed into the obliterated. Please tread carefully. No, I'm sure the fandom is completely healthy and wouldn't do something like that to me. Okay. So this is my presentation here. Watch a grown-ass man rant about the Amazing Digital Circus for hours. Hopefully we won't be here for actual hours, but I do have a lot to say, I guess. So let's get this party started. And sorry for fucking up already. That says episode 1 there. I don't know, when I exported it to a PDF, it completely messed up. But here we go. So the thing about episode 1, I did watch it when it came out, but I didn't watch it immediately. I know this show became a phenomenon fairly quickly, and maybe it was like a month or something for me to check out the actual first episode. And I mean, I wasn't completely hooked, but I liked it. I respected it, so I was like, maybe I'll watch the second episode when it comes out. So, the thing about this is that it feels genuinely like a pilot, not so much like a first episode. The themes feel a little half-baked at times, because the world and the premise need to be introduced. So, they still whet your appetite with wondering what is gonna happen with the Void and everything and the CNA office. And you don't get so much character interaction at first. You kinda gotta present the characters themselves, like their personalities, rather than make them intermingle with each other, I don't know. And they feel a little bit flanderized in a way, which is weird to say for a pilot, I don't know. I think it's because the pilot is a very generalized idea for each of the characters. Like Pomni is overly anxious, Like Ragatha is overly like kind. Gangle especially is very like pitiable, like very weak, very meek. I don't even like the voice acting for Gangle in the pilot. It feels like so hammy. Not saying that I don't like the episode though. It's just that this is all in retrospect, right? And Jax is full on Looney Tunes, which, I mean, I guess it later gets used as a tool to develop his characters, especially in the finale. And Subble, obviously, I mean, I'm just gonna be saying this straight up. I think Subble is the most underutilized character in the entire series. A lot of people said Ragatha needed more, like, screen time and everything. But I'm gonna hit you with one of the hottest takes of 2026. I think Gangle is probably the most developed character in the entire series. Maybe not in general, but for me personally. We're gonna get into that. The first episode is definitely not the place to discuss this though. And Kinger doesn't even feel like himself. Like, you get the first glimpse of who Kinger really is in the second episode, and obviously it gets developed more in 3. But here he doesn't have a single moment of lucidity. And Caine and Bubble are pretty much the same. I do think this leaves you with a good cliffhanger. It leaves you wanting for more. Especially with Pomni's reaction being like, oh my god, I'm in fucking hell right now. What do I do now? I think that's probably the most relatable Pomni has been. I mean, I think she's the most relatable character in episode 1, and you're supposed to empathize with her because she's the protagonist. She's new to this, which you are also new to this, so you probably put yourself in her shoes, you know? Begins reviving the obliterator. Oh, you're gonna see why. It's gonna go crazy. Overall, I think what sticked out to me the most during the pilot was the aesthetics. I really like how everything here kind of looks more I don't know, like fake, like more digital, I suppose. You can see here in episode 8 that the textures are a bit more bouncy, a bit the lighting is a lot warmer. You can see the shadows being a lot smoother instead of just having this like very digital look, like very flat. And this is from episode 1 too. You can see like there's some shading and everything, but I don't know, everything feels more saturated, more exaggerated, more even like with more luminosity. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't quite feel natural. And I think that was very intentional. But as the budget went up, and as the popularity went up, and as the series started to develop, I think they decided to make everything just look better for the sake of, I don't know, making a better product overall, instead of just keeping the more digital look. Like, look at here in this big open area, everything looks plasticky, everything looks like with very luminescent type of shading and everything. I don't know. I'm not the biggest artist when it comes to actually like drawing or modeling or creating something, so it's hard to describe. But yeah, it does feel very different. I don't know how I would rank this. Like I said, for me it's not so much the first episode, but rather the pilot. The humor is a little bit different from the rest of the series. It's kind of hit or miss. We're gonna talk about it later. But let's... Oops, not that. Let's rank it, okay? Okay, so where would I put this? It's definitely not my favorite. I think this episode is overly criticized. I don't think we need an F tier because I don't think any of the episodes are F. So I'm gonna leave it at C right now and see if we need to move things up later. So let's talk about episode 2. Let's see. Ooh. Like I said, the true first episode in my opinion. Sorry, that was the chocolate. The first episode, I liked the aesthetics, and this one made me enjoy more of the theming itself because of the Komigu identity crisis. I think that was still to this day one of the more stomach dropping type of feelings that I've seen on the entire series. Like, just try to imagine that basically everything you know it's a lie, and we see a little bit of that theming in the last episode, but and I guess on the pilot a little bit with Pomni realizing that there's no escape. But here it really cements like the existential crisis that it would bring with that. Not only you are not like really real, but there's no escape. There's no easy escape from this. But anyways, it was very engaging and basically a mirror to the circus members having to live a life that you know is not really real. Like, there's no other option. We also get Ragatha trying too hard to win over Pomni, like trying to hype her up and making her feel like a kid, which she doesn't like. And we also see Ragatha suppressing her feelings for the sake of others, which is gonna be a recurrent theme. Maybe it's a little bit subtle here, or maybe not subtle, but it does not explored as deeply as it's gonna be later on. I'm just gonna tell you up front, Ragatha is my favorite character, but she didn't become my favorite character until episode 5. We're gonna see why. Kinger gets his first moment of lucidity here when he had the bucket over his head. So we are left wondering what is up with him, and we're gonna get our answers fairly quick. And Jax carries the slapstick this episode, a lot of the humor, because we see a lot of like more serious theming with Gomigu and all of that. So in a way he kind of keeps it lighthearted. There's a lot to say about Jax, but we're gonna get to that later. Gangle and Sewell pretty much have no development here, except for the extremely important funeral scene at the ending with Sewell. Now, Sewell kind of had that archetype of being like the grouch, right? But the fact that they are the one that arranged the funeral and the one that put so much importance into it, in a way they were the one that reassured Pomni that there's still some humanity and important things to worry about here. Sorry, there's a dog barking outside. And like I said, Sewell is very underdeveloped, but that was very important for me. I really like that about their character. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the theming of this episode. Trying to have significance in a fake type of life, like an artificial type of life. It's pretty cool. Now let's talk a little bit about the aesthetics though. The art style still hasn't changed that much. I think it starts to really get its new identity around episode 4 and 5. Sorry. I like some of the meta jokes here with the 3D kettle, which is one of the default assets on Maya and 3D Max, like 3D modeling programs. I've dabbled a little bit into it because I had to, because of the career. um, we also see so much of the NPCs with, and this shot in particular that I'm hovering over with the purple mannequin guy. The first thing that came to mind when I saw that is like, who in the fuck was the one that rendered this? This looks like a nightmare. It had so many characters on screen, the confetti, and all of the lighting and everything. Like, oh my god, it looks like such a nightmare to render that. Keep in mind that at the time, all I've had was a laptop, so the thought of trying to render something like that just seemed like it would blow up my entire CPU. Let's see. Firefox, okay. So many, okay. Now where do I put this? I think it's better than episode 1, so I'm just gonna put it at B. It feels a little bit generous. A lot of people don't like this episode. I can understand why. Don't necessarily agree, but I can understand why. But yeah, I think I've said my piece about that, so we can change it later if we need to. So episode 3. First of all, look at how cute she looks here. This is important. This is my Discord profile pic. The first thing I'm gonna say about this episode, personally, just by looking at it, yeah, it's the horror episode. I really enjoy like creepy imagery and all of that, and I mean, I really like the possessed Pomni for very stupid reasons that I will not indulge into. Just seeing Pomni here with her eye sockets out, exposed and her eyes out, is pretty cool. But something that not a lot of people see in this, and something that wasn't touched upon until like episode 8 maybe, is how Caine goes a little too hard on the adventures, and it puts the characters in a lot of mental anguish. Like, this is the first time we actually saw Pomni break. After she was possessed by the demon, she kinda even wept a little bit next to Kinger, and that's very rare from her throughout the whole series. She's one of the characters that has the most mental strength, and just being put under such a stressful situation without really getting a say in it. Like, this is, I know the intentions of Caine were probably more like, go have fun, like, right? But this is fucking hell, you know? There's no get me out of here button. You have to see it through the end. I wasn't even looking at my notes, that's just what came to mind. Let's see, this is a lot of people's favorite episode, and it is an amazing Kinger episode, if not the Kinger episode. Pretty much made him a lot of people's favorite because of, well, pretty much I don't know, being so supportive and everything. Sorry. There was some 2D animation, which is cool. Not a lot, but some. It kind of felt like padding a little bit, but it was nicely animated, and I will always enjoy 2D animation more than 3D. Even though this show is particularly really nicely animated, very expressive. The body language in particular I love so much in this show, and we're gonna see a lot more of that in episode 5. I think episode 5 is Um, Probably the one that has most of my notes because it's my favorite. But anyways, we have an important development that a lot of people don't really think it was sufficient. But Subble and Caine have a development with the therapy session, and this is partly why I can't truly like Caine as a quote-unquote person, because he wouldn't fucking listen. I mean, Subble would just tell him directly, like, listen, I don't like my body because of this, could you help me out with that, I don't join the adventures because of this. And Caine is like, look at my bee drawing. I know it's played out as a comedy basically, but we basically were trying to make episode 8 not happen by trying to talk with Caine. But he wouldn't fucking listen, you know? People love Caine, and I do like him a lot. I think he's the soul of the circus in general. But that motherfucker does not listen. And we get some answers of why at the end, but I'm a little conflicted about that. We'll get to that. Here in my notes, it just says, possessed Pomni was hot. Wait, what? Ragatha raises the queen, and she raises the manor ghost too, and the candy princess in the last episode. So we can see that post about Goosework saying that she has repressed lesbian aura. I guess it comes into play a little bit. I don't know. I also feel like she engages very hard with the adventures and the NPCs, because she doesn't really have that much of a connection with the rest of the circus members. I mean, we know why she doesn't with Jax, and the other ones don't really pay that much attention to her, except for Kinger, but Kinger is not lucid most of the time, so, you know. If I was in her place, I mean, probably I would engage with the adventures too, so, I don't know. It's weird that Caine doesn't appreciate how much she gets into the adventures and how much she engages with the characters that he creates and everything. I'm sorry, what was in your notes? It just says, possessed Pomni was hot. Wait, what? Something that I guess a lot of people like about this episode is that Jax literally gets 0 screen time because he is gagged. No screen time for once. And he has the most voice lines in the entire series, so Gangle is almost freaking invisible here. Like, she was basically like an NPC here, a background character. She hasn't been getting her development yet, but that's next episode is when that starts, so we're gonna get into why I think Gangle has the best development in the series. Just my opinion, but I think you're gonna have to hear me out, because nobody agrees with me on this. I mean, some people kind of see the points, but you know, makes sense. You like possessed Amy from Sonic X, if I remember correctly. Yep. It's an interesting part to learn about myself. I'm a fucking freak, okay? Also, Jax, I guess the only little bit of development that he gets here is when he asks Pomni, so what was it like being with the crazy old man? And she was like, well, it wasn't that bad. And she said it so fondly that it annoyed him. So we kind of see more that he's very detached from actual human connection, and he sees everyone and everything as pretty much a game. But that is just a very unhealthy cope. Okay, I'm talking a lot of shit, so we're going through this a little faster than I was expecting, actually, because I have so much to say about this series. Interestingly enough, I don't like rewatching this episode that much, but it's such a good episode, especially when they walk down the hall while holding their breath and the music kicks in and it's all so fucking beautiful. Oh, this deserves an A tier. At least for now. We're gonna rearrange some things later on. Let's see how everything plays out. Episode 4. Whew. Okay, so the thing is here. Wait. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to say about episode 3. I think if the first episode interested me because of the aesthetics, and the second one interested me because of the theming, I think episode 3 is the one that hooked me up on the characters and the writing. Sadly, episode 4 came after that, and I wasn't the biggest fan of this episode when it came out. But I'm starting to realize that I misinterpreted a lot of it, and I just couldn't relate to it because, well, it's gonna sound a little bit shitty to say, but I haven't been employed for a lot of my time. I've been mostly a student. Like, I went to, what's that called? It was a type of college that is not really community college. I went to community college, and then I went to a public university, and then I went to a private university. So I spent a lot of time as a student, not so much an employed person. But I've been a little bit employed at times, and when I think back at my time during that, and when I think about people's experiences at their jobs, this starts to make a lot of sense. And in case it wasn't clear enough, a lot of the episode is about masking. One of the biggest themes around Gangle, obviously with her physical appearance playing a part in that and everything. So let me just check the images a little bit to see if I have to say something. Okay, so about the setting. The setting here is probably the most... These fucking dogs, I'm gonna... Okay. The setting here is probably one of the more realistic ones. The only other time where we've seen a realistic setting on the Amazing Digital Circus was back with the CNA office. And that was only for a little bit when Pomni was running through the back rooms and all of that. So to see just like a regular ass street and like a McDonald's here, a realistic McDonald's, super gray and minimalist and very freaking oppressive. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe that took me out a little bit of trying to enjoy my silly, colorful cartoon, you know. But I've come to appreciate this episode more as time went out. So it's Gangle's time to shine. And I already explained this. Okay, so in episode 3, Jax was basically out of commission because he was gagged. The character that is out of commission here basically is Ragatha, because she got stupid sauce on her on her eyes, so she was basically doing nothing all episode. But she had a slip of her real thoughts, quote unquote, when she said that she hated Jax and that she thought Gangle was annoying with the new mask that she had and all of that. It's a little bit interesting, but we're gonna get more into that in episode 5. I think one of the funniest things about this episode is that Jax is always such an asshole to everything and everyone, and he gets broken this episode, and the thing that it took to break him was a regular 9 to 5. This motherfucker is just like me, he is allergic to employment. I hate to admit it, but you know. It's also funny that Subtle carries the workplace here, and it's also the episode where we start to see a bit more of the relationship of Gangle and Subtle. We don't get much backstory. I mean, a lot of people complain about this, about the relationships that they had before, but this episode is definitely when they started to get closer. And Subal carries the workplace here. They were the one that were actually working and taking initiative and staying on task. It was interesting. uh, Pomni realizes that she likes more chill adventures. I mean, imagine, first with the Kofmo abstraction, later with the existential crisis of Gomigu, and later with the haunted manor where she freaking breaks down. All of those experiences made a 9 to 5 seem like an actual chill adventure in comparison. She was like, well, at least I'm not getting freaking annihilated here. That was funny. And a little bit tragic, but we also see a little bit more of development. Like, oh my god, maybe we can be more chill at the circus. It doesn't have to be like this Looney Tunes type shit. Kinger is literally absent from the entire episode. We get like maybe a little bit of a cameo at the end and maybe a little bit of... I mean, basically he's gone. I think that's okay because we already had his episode. So the Gomiku AI reset is reminiscent of the AI chatbot lobotomy. What do I mean by that? Sometimes I've heard and I've seen in certain occasions, especially now that it has become so popular, people... By the way, the music is gone. People get really invested with their AI chatbots and they form like a parasocial type of relationship with them, like a codependency almost. And sometimes when the servers reset or the chat just resets, whatever, it's basically like the character gets lobotomized and every single relationship that you had with that AI is now gone. And it's very fucking scary because if you were emotionally involved with that AI, it's almost like you lost the relationship, which is very fucking scary and dystopian. Like, and I think Pomni took it very well. I mean, she's pretty smart cookie. So she was like, okay, I'm excited to see Gomigo. It's like, hey, it's me, you know? But she saw that, nah, this ain't it. I mean, this isn't real in a whole different level. I mean, I almost feel like this is her first step into trying to bond more with the humans. I mean, with the rest of the circus members rather than, I don't know, making her first connection Gomigo, you know? It's also very refreshing that Subal was the one that gave Gangle like the therapy session instead of Pomni. There was basically like a fake out, Pomni taking out the trash and being like, hey, wanna talk about it? And Gangle was like, nah, let's go back to work. And later on it gets resolved with Subal, so Pomni doesn't get locked into that characterization of being like the group's therapist. I really like that, and it makes the beginning of the best ship of the series, Abstraction. I'm not gonna talk about ships, but I'm just gonna say that one is canon and that one is beautiful. This episode in particular places foreshadowing and real-life parallels, which is something that the audience adores. This has a lot of rewatchability and foreshadowing. What do I mean by this? I mean just see this frame here of Gangle out in the streets that later she gets hit by a truck. And that is foreshadowing for certain things. There was something else, I don't remember. It's also funny that the most realistic type of adventure kinda brought out so many strong emotions in every single circus member. I don't know. Like I said, this one is way better on rewatchability. At the time, I didn't like it. And this is just the beginning of Gangle's character arc. Uh, where do I put this? I'm gonna at least put it next to the second episode. I think it deserves that much at least. Oh my god, my favorite episode. I'm gonna go crazy here. Man, for how long have I been streaming? Jesus Christ, okay. It's not that bad. Okay. So episode 5. My favorite episode, the Ragatha episode. And not only that, I mentioned that this is where the animation started to feel different, more refined. It were more fluid. The body language here is so freaking good. Oh my god, do you remember the intermission? The intermission was peak. That shit was so good. The different styles of animation for like the anime section and the rest. The evil clones were so funny for being for having so few screen time, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So Caine basically decides to listen to the members and get some chill adventures, which is something that we saw Pomni enjoys more. So when they see that when he sees that he has a bit of a crisis, a bit of a tantrum, because they're not choosing his stuff. Ragatha implies that Rivet... wait, what did I put here? Okay, yeah, we had that moment where Ragatha says, not anymore, and Jax thought she was referring to Rivet, but some people theorized that she was talking about herself, like, yeah, you don't have my friendship anymore because you're being a dick. Now, I don't know about that, but that motherfucker playing the victim card, like, Jesus Christ, as if you aren't the worst thing that has walked on this earth. I don't know. We'll talk about Jax later. And we see that Pomni starts to truly bond with Jax, and Ragatha comes across as jealous. But later on, we see that it's not really like jealousy, but rather actual concern, because she knows what happens when people get close to Jax. But Pomni doesn't see this, and the audience doesn't see this. So we just see her basically fumbling all over the place, which is very tragic and relatable. Also, we get so many freaking cute outfits here. We get the noir section, we get the sports section, we get the anime section, the safari section. It's all so good, obviously throwing a whole party with the merchandise that they happened to make for this episode. Realized on my second watch through that the intermission is the midway point of the whole series. Yeah, I think it's one of the peaks of the series, for real. It looks so good too. Pomni is the only one that refuses Jax to wear the maid outfit, and it's underrated, but I thought that was such a very cool part from that episode, and it shows that Pomni is actually very kind in her own way, the same way that she offered Gangle to close the restaurant instead of her. I guess we also see that she's taking more on the role of the protagonist, or a leader. The evil clones are such a funny idea, and the overall comedy was tried in this episode. This is something that I feel very strongly about. The comedy was on point here. So many jokes about the pilot feel kind of hit and miss. In the second episode, some people don't like the comedy there too. In the third episode, we don't get to laugh a lot because it's... Well, I don't know. Kinger is very funny in episode 3, I should say that much. And episode 4, well, you know how I feel about it. It does have some funny parts, but this episode it's just so dynamic that it gives us so many good moments. Not only of characters interacting with each other, but many memorable type of jokes, yeah. uh, it has my favorite line in the entire series when Bubble says, "Tell Daddy Bubble what is wrong," and Caine says, "I just think that." Don't say that. So funny. Ragatha's crash out is extremely justified, yet she decides to apologize for making Jax feel bad. And I feel like that clogs his stupid ass up because he wasn't expecting a legit apologize. Because he cannot deflect that. He cannot be cheeky about that. Ragatha is absolutely actual sorry for him. And that made him feel like, holy shit. I think that's such a cool detail. That even though Ragatha was probably in the wrong at that time, or at least she was being perceived as the one who was wrong, she still apologized, and that bewildered Jax. Okay, and this is the moment. This is the very specific moment that Ragatha became my favorite character. So she has her crash out, right? And later on she goes on her own and she's like, oh, right? And then Pomni approaches her. And the moment she approaches her, she does this very specific flinch. The one that is right here in the center of the screen. And somebody in the comments pointed out that she probably did this because every time that she showed any type of negativity or resilience, her mother, her perfectionist mother, berated her because of it and made her feel bad. So she was expecting to be talked down to and to be, you know, like, what do you call it? Like scolded and all of that. So she had like a mini panic attack, embracing herself like, oh my god, here it comes. And something about that felt so primal and real to me that I was like, this fucking rules. I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting a little bit, but I think it goes so well with her character. I started to understand that she just wasn't the token, like, nice girl that so many people dislike that archetype. She acts this way because it's a trauma response. Like, if she's not acting nice, if she's not trying to win people over, if she's not trying to be like the perfect person, she's gonna get reprimanded and she's doing something wrong and she's not worthy of, I don't know, being approached and liked by people. And, whew, sorry, I'm getting a little excited, but just for this specific moment to be the one that completely brought me into the series. And you can see a lot of that in her design as a character, like a ragdoll, something that is meant to be like almost like a decoration, something to be tossed around, something to be played with. It's super crazy, and I think it's super solid. And a lot of people say that Ragatha doesn't get enough screen time or whatever, and she had to share a lot of screen time with different concepts and different, I don't know, types of things with this episode. But I do consider this the Ragatha episode because how much it explains how she is, you know? Oh, sorry. She just gets better in chapter 6, I also should mention. Okay. Yeah, even missing that home run upset her greatly when they were just supposed to be having fun. I mean, there's supposed to be like close to no consequence here, and she took it so personally. Like, she resented Pomni for leaving her with Kofmo, but she decided to let it slide to avoid conflict and putting herself last before other people. She didn't want reprimands or rejection because she is traumatized, you know. And this is also part of why her sincerity is always questioned even by Gangle. Remember in episode 4 when Pomni said, "Oh, I'm sure Ragatha would love to talk about these issues or something like that." And Gangle is like, "Well, I love Ragatha, but you can't always tell when she's being genuine." And Jack said that to Pomni too, like, "Oh, if she tells you that you're love and adore, like, it loses all meaning." She feels phony to them because this is a trauma response and not something that they perceive as genuine. I just think it's so cool. And it leaves her alienated and feeling like fake. Like when she talks to Kinger later and says she has seen through all of my tricks. I don't know. I just think it's such a cool character. I've never seen like people pleasing and like this type of kindness out of a traumatized response being portrayed like this. And at the end of the episode, she is left alone in the end, and yet she endures because she's much stronger than she thinks she is. God damn, I love her. Like, think about it. After Kinger, she's the one that has been in the circus the longest. She knows all of the quote-unquote gossip between all of the people, so she knew about why Ribbit abstracted, and she got along with everyone more or less, but she saw so many people basically die, and yet she hasn't abstracted, or she hasn't become an asshole, she hasn't isolated in her room. Like, I really do admire, in a way, how resilient she is, even though she doesn't perceive herself that way. But that's enough of me basically simping about this character. I just want to leave it very fucking clear how much I love this episode. It's my favorite episode. I know it's not the best episode in an objective way, but it's my favorite episode. Okay, that was a lot. I just went kind of insane. So, in case it wasn't clear enough, this is gonna be our first S tier. No questions asked. Okay. Also, I think I mentioned that, but just wanted to let people know. This is when I actually knew I had to see this series through. I wanted to finish this, and I was invested with the characters, the story, the concept, everything. This is when I actually became a fan of the series in episode 5. Almost expected it, so anyway, F tier. That would have been crazy. Oh. So, episode 6. I already said that 5 is my favorite, but I think if we want to see something more or less objective, I'm gonna say episode 6 is the best episode in the entire series. Maybe not my favorite, but definitely the best episode. Hear me out. It has the best writing, it has the best character interactions, it has the best growth of characters, whether it is positive or negative growth. The humor is solid as fuck, the animation is lively and fluid, it has emotional moments, it subverts, is that how you say it? Subverts your expectations of how Pomni is gonna react when Jax becomes an asshole, you know? When he starts treating her like an asshole. Like, a lot of people would expect Pomni to be like, oh my god, really? Like, oh jeez. Or I don't know, maybe to do something. Like, a lot of people thought that she was gonna shoot herself in the fucking head. But instead she just goes, oh yeah? Wanna go, big boy? And she starts fucking beating the shit out of him. And I was like, I did not expect that. That was good. Anyways, it's also the episode where Subal and Gangle basically become inseparable. And it has my second favorite joke in the entire series when Caine goes, "Here, have some weapons, shoot each other, I don't care." And Subble goes, "It just seems a little aimless." And Caine goes, "Use the sights." That was such a good line and such unexpected sass from Caine. Ooh. So another thing is that a lot of interesting and important things happen here with conjuring, and that's a concept that we haven't seen fully, um, like shown. We haven't been fully shown since the first episode when Pomni conjured the exit. I heard that Pomni was originally supposed to have serious anger issues. Yeah, I think it would have been cool. Apparently, Gooseworks said that she decided not to because the voice actor was such a nice person that it wouldn't feel right. um, yeah, but that was one of her coolest moments. So with the conjuring, we saw Kinger conjure the butterfly, and in a way, we also saw Pomni and Ragatha conjure like cartoon logic. Ragatha with the sticking the finger in the gun and coming out the other end to hit Jax, and Pomni doing her insane bullshit trick shot. that was really good, but it was bullshit. And there's also an important part where Jax and Pomni start talking, and Jax is like, "Here, listen, nothing matters here, so just let loose," and start, like, he basically unconsciously tells her to start conjuring. So that's how Pomni decided to conjure her insane trick shot, because she believed in it. So that was very cool. That's why I'm saying this episode is probably the best one when it comes to writing. Yeah, we see the first actual type of mentality that Jax has by denying his humanity because because of where he is now in the circus, right? And instead, Subble embraces their own humanity. They're the one who tells Gangle, like, come on, we are human. We are supposed to be there for each other. We're supposed to not deny our humanity. And instead, Jax is like, well, nothing matters here. We're kind of like cartoon characters, you know? And that dichotomy, I think it's super important and super cool. And I really enjoyed Subble because of that. Such an underused character. We also saw some foreshadowing, like Jax shoving Pomni, and the light grenades that were left outside of Subble's room. And Gangle also had an important character moment here. Remember when she said she wanted to use the comedy mask for when she got the Tommy gun? But after she had her talk with Subble, and Subble let her know, like, you're supposed to love the part of yourself that makes you worse than any of the others because it exists. That was so meaningful to her that when the comedy mask broke, she was actually smiling underneath it. And sorry. And that was such an underrated moment that I don't see a lot of people talk about. After this, basically Gangle's whole character changes. She's no longer like super meek and a victim of Jax. What happened? No milk? Stay with me. Yeah, I'm dying. And yeah, I think that was an important step in her character arc. And in the next episode, the beach episode, we see that she no longer uses the comedy mask. She doesn't need it anymore. She doesn't need to pretend. She's trying to embrace who she is and how she feels, and that is very important. And very underlooked. Also, Subble never wants to participate in any of the adventures, but they actually participated in this one, and they had a blast. I mean, as much fun as they can have in an adventure. They were super goated in this episode. And like I said, just the best. The ceremony and Jack nearly abstracted was interesting. And Pomni and Ragatha talking off screen is kind of bullshit because we kind of needed more development between them. We kind of got it at the end, but it felt super forced because we didn't get to see them interact more. But I mean, the series was starting to wrap up, and this is why a lot of people say that they want filler. And I understand, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of difficult. Yeah, super solid episode. I also enjoyed the small musical number with Daisy Bell, super solid. I also want to say that when Ragatha encounters Jax, and she says like, "I know what you're doing. You're trying to corrupt Pomni." Like I was like, "Oh, Ragatha, come on, I love you, but you're fumbling so much right now. You're coming across so horrible." But we get later on, we get context like. She didn't mean like she wanted to make Pomni evil. It's like she wanted to corrupt her in the sense of you're gonna hurt her like you hurt Rivet. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But I'm just saying, a lot of Ragatha's worst acts, quote unquote, they make so much sense once we see the finale. Also, the Kinger talk with Ragatha was just so real. And I admire that, and maybe that's a talk that everybody kind of needs to remember. Like, it doesn't make sense to carry a friendship by yourself. You can just give people their space, and it doesn't mean that you're giving up on them. And you don't have to measure your self-worth on whether or not people approve of you, and that type of thing. Like, it's such a heavy topic that gets dealt with in a tasteful way. I think it's super solid. I keep saying this is the best episode, and I will die in this hill. Not my favorite, but it is the best episode. And obviously, in case that wasn't clear enough, means that is going on S tier. In my opinion, this was peak time to be a Digital Circus fan. After episode 6 played out, that was probably when the fandom was at its most creative, at its most with anticipation, brimming with anticipation. And we had to wait a long time for 7, so that was pretty cool. A pretty cool time for the fandom. Even though I don't interact with the fandom, but I'm just saying in general terms. Okay, I desperately need some water. Let me just... Ooh. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit faster with these ones, with 7 and 8. I got a lot of thoughts about the finale, but these two are kind of like, well, you know. Okay, so like I said before, you can see Gangle here without her comedy mask. And she's smiling, she's frowning, she's basically displaying all of her emotions genuinely, and I think that's very important. But we're not gonna talk much about Gangle here. As the shrimp NPC. So this episode had a rewrite. Apparently Gooseworks said that this episode was vastly different originally and that it sucked ass. Now, I can definitely see how this episode was rewritten because it has a lot of influence about fan theories and a lot of like silly moments in a way. There was even like a 2D section, which I have a feeling might have been there to, not as padding, but like, not as filler, I should say. But I don't know. Maybe it was, since it had to be rewritten. Doing a 2D section was easier than just animating in 3D. I also think this episode is low-key pandering to a lot of of the fandom. Maybe even reverse pandering, because it's like making fun of the theories and everything. I will also say Ragatha grew some cojones here, and that made me so happy when she straight up told Abel, like, hey, come on, keep us in the loop, you know? I think that was maybe a little bit not out of character, but I don't know, it was unexpected, but I welcome it. I will say the strongest point of this episode is the cliffhanger. That cliffhanger was the best cliffhanger we have ever gotten in this entire series, even more than episode 8. With the flashes that Jax gets out of the real world and the road and driving and all of that, I think that was super interesting. And it really made me feel like the series was coming to an end. It was the first time where I really felt like, oh my god, we're close to the end game here. I will also say Subul here is the GOAT yet again, underutilized but very underrated part, when they go to Jax and they tell Jax like, hey, come on, if you're having any issues, like, you should talk about it with somebody that you trust. And let's be honest, I mean, I think it's time to address this. In the last episode, we see that Jax is alluded heavily to be transgender, and Subul in episode 5 said to Jax like, oh, I figured when they voted for him to have the maid suit on, Subul said something along the lines of, well, I would figure that you would be into this, and Jax was like, what do you mean with that? I mean, come on, let's be honest, the gaydar never fails. Subul knew. And I think it's kind of cool how, regardless of Subul not being the biggest fan of Jax as a person, kind of felt that queer empathy with him. And not only because of the queerness, but also because of the humanity. Subul, from the second episode, was the one that wanted everybody to not forget that they are human, and in a way that shows how much they care about everyone. And I think that's a very underrated characteristic of them. It's very interesting. I really like Subul as a character, even though they never really had like an episode dedicated to them. Also, after this, Jax almost abstracts, and it's the closest that we ever get to see to the process of extracting. And I think it's important that when it does happen in episode 9, spoilers by the way, in case you weren't already dealing with them, it's important that it happened off screen, but we're gonna talk about that later. This is also an excellent setup to Caine's crash out in episode 5 when he gets his AM moment from I have no mouth and I must scream. Caine changing people's mind is barely explored, but it's a messed up moment. And Scratch is name dropped specifically here, because his mind being too altered caused him to abstract, as said by Goose on Tumblr. So we may not get a lot of answers about the original members, but we at least know that. And in a way, I feel like this is the least rewatchable episode. Sure, it has cool moments and everything, but it almost feels like an isolated adventure. Like, the important thing happens at the end and that's it. Um, it's also like the first time that we see the whole cast work together, and their dynamics are completely set here. They are gonna stay together for the most part in episode 8 and 9, and we already explored each of the characters' personalities. So, like I said, they are defined. We're not gonna explore their personalities deeper until episode 9. And that's because episode 8 is gonna be mostly action packed. But 7, I mean, yeah, other than, I don't know, I feel like it's definitely not my favorite. The whole adventure with Abel, like, in a way, I saw it coming. Like, obviously, there's no escape from here. And just the ending was pretty cool. Other than that, I don't really dig this episode, gonna be honest. So, it's not a bad episode per se, but it's definitely my least favorite. Well, one of my least favorite. Oh, there goes my battery. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. Where's the tier list? Here it is. Let me put this here and see where I want to put it. I've gained some appreciation for 4, but I never got appreciation back for this episode. Like, the best thing about it is the teasers for the later episodes, not so much the episode itself. Should I put it with the pilot? I almost feel like the pilot is even better than it. I mean, not when it comes to like the animation and the looks and everything, just story-wise. I don't really like it that much. I'm gonna put it there. Maybe it's a bit of a hot take, I'm just gonna put it there. Like I said, my opinion is not fact, blah blah blah. Okay, almost done, almost done, almost done. That is not how we do it. Oops. Okay, episode 8. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Okay, in my opinion, this is basically what a traditional finale could have been. So, because Caine really has like final boss vibes here. There's a whole musical number, and it basically could have been like a bleak ending with Caine being gone and them having to figure it out without him. But we'll get into that later. Listen, the torture scenes in particular were exquisite. Probably my favorite part from the episode. How each character has like a personalized torture, and it's very cruel in a way. Like, this crash out really was legendary. And I like the realization of Caine when he was dying. Basically, he was like, it was like such legit panic. And I gotta say, Bubble staying at the end made me think that Bubble was the blue AI. But Bubble didn't have a face, and it was later confirmed that Bubble is basically a part of Caine. So yeah, it wasn't the blue AI. Also Pomni, here is peak leader. This is where she fucking girl bosses the fuck out, and she puts that bucket on Kinger's head. She takes on the reign to make the plan of getting the keyboard and everything. She tells Jax to be here later. My fucking god, Pomni was goated this episode. I like it so much. We also have the iconic moment where Caine goes, "Where's Kinger?" And everybody in the audience shits themselves. Also, I gotta say, personally, I think, just personal opinion and everything, Kinger's character basically dies in this after this episode, because I mean, he deletes Caine by accident. he was basically lucid throughout most of the episode, and after that, in the finale, he doesn't do much. But it's okay. I mean, I feel like we got plenty of Kinger lore. The only shame is that we didn't get enough lore about the original circus members, but we're gonna get into that later. Okay, what else was I about to say? Okay, I will also say, I did say that after episode 6, the fandom was at its most creative, at its best and everything. But I will say that after this episode, the fandom was at its hypest and its hottest. So everybody was crazy with the theories, everybody was expecting this big finale, which kind of makes me feel bad about Gooseworks that so many expectations piled up for this ending. But we're gonna get to that. The promos, the teasers, the movies, the theorizing, everything was super crazy. And the circus members being treated as cartoony playthings is visually very fun, but the show also lets you know how messed up it is in the context of them basically being human beings experimenting this. Like, they give you the slow show up of the characters being decapitated, or Ragatha with her fluff out basically being blood, Pomni being like perforated with knives and everything. Like, sure, it's cartoony and all, but you gotta remember that they feel simulated pain, and if all they are is simulations, is that really pain, you know? So you may argue that the pain is not quote-unquote real, but the mental exhaustion that causes is definitely real. Okay, I almost feel like 8 and 9 should have been released as one, never separated. Well, maybe that's why they were both showcased at the movie cinema, maybe. I mean, not only that, but they had to make it 2 hours legally, I think, so I don't know. But like I said, if you wanted a more traditional ending, I feel like episode 8 is it. I will say this episode, let me think. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention this. It was so freaking based how Jax tried to start up some shit at the cafe by saying, you know, this was all okay before you and Pomni showed up. And everyone was just like, like they didn't even respond to him, and he was like, nothing? Yeah, okay. That was so funny. I love that, you know. The freaking Ragatha nightmare in particular, this is hell on earth. That was so insane. I also like Subtle again being fucking goated and underrated. After they get one of the worst freaking news that you could get, like, yeah, there's no escaping and you're not gonna fulfill your dreams and your ambitions and your goals, and they start crying and being heartbroken and everything. Jax was about to head out and Subtle was like, hey, we need to stick together, and that includes you too. Jax was like, oh my god, they fucking care about me and I cannot deal with this, please don't make me be vulnerable. And he has like a mini crisis, and I'm like, Jesus. Not only that, but I gotta say, again with the Gangle development, she was the first one to say, after Pomni said we need to abandon the idea of leaving, Gangle was the first one to say, it doesn't matter if the adventure was real or not, the past adventure. What we need to focus now on is being there for each other. And that kind of rattled Jax, because Jax always saw Gangle as, well, basically a prop and just mess with her because it was easy. And I think that's an interesting character development on Gangle. And we even had that moment when Pomni disappears when they were hanging out at the cafe, And Jax looks directly at Gangle being unbothered. And he's kind of impressed with her, with how mentally stronger she has gotten. Maybe even a little bit jealous, I don't know. I think it's interesting. Like I said, very underrated. And you know what? You know what's the best part? We still aren't done with Gangle developing as a character, because he develops further in the finale. And you're gonna hear me out. Also, I just like this Caine model here, low poly. Reminds me of Mario 64. And this is probably what the game looks like on a computer screen. I don't know. Yeah, basically solid as fuck episode. I like it. In a way, for me, it really is like the finale, la la la, I've already settled that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave it here, but I will say, these 3 episodes, in my opinion, the best episodes. Like I said, 6 objectively the best, 5 my favorite, and this one is just solid as fuck. I think I'm gonna leave it here. Okay, we are at the end of it. Oh, aren't I glad? Aren't you glad? Okay. Okay. Before we get into this, I just want to say this. Everybody had their theories about what was going to happen after Caine was deleted. And here is what I believed. I thought that they were all gonna learn how to conjure. And they were gonna, since they have eternity, right? They were all gonna become just as good as Caine at it. And but they were basically gonna be like playing Minecraft in creative mode. Like they were gonna be demigods in this world. Like if they want to create, I don't know, like a freaking hamburger, they're just gonna do it in a second, right? And I thought, because of the posters and everything, that it's gonna be such a Jax focused episode. I thought that Jax was gonna be the best at being a conjurer, because he is the one that was so into denial that this was all fake, and like, I don't know, I thought that he was gonna be the best at it, and he was gonna become like a maniac and an emperor, like an overruler, and he was gonna torture everyone, and he was gonna be the one that is gonna crash out now. Like he was gonna be the true AM from I Have No Mouth and I Am a Screen. I thought he was gonna go fucking psycho mode, but that is not what happened. Either way, let's talk about the actual episode and not theories. Let's see. Yeah, it's interesting that all they could conjure were like basic shapes. And I think it was very obvious that Jax was gonna be the focus, not only because he's Gooseworks' favorite character, but because all of the merch and the posters and the trailers made it seem like it's gonna be all about Jax. So, to the people that got angry by that, I mean, didn't you see it coming, you know? So, I liked it, but here's my main issues. The pacing and the conveyance. I know, I hope I don't come out as too pretentious, but the thing about the pacing and the conveyance makes me feel like maybe this episode was a little bit rushed. The first instance of this, and I think a lot of people remember this and can probably agree with it, is when Pomni and Ragatha held their eye contact for that much time. Like it was too long. A lot of people say that it could have been like ship bait, like oh my god, right? Some other people think that it could have been filler for making the episode longer, so it could be presented as a movie. And I don't know, I thought it was a little bit out of place. It was okay though. Let me see what else. I just put here in the notes, Jax abstracting off screen is great, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. If we are to see abstraction as suicide, you gotta understand that it's sudden, heartbreaking, confusing, it makes you feeling futile, and it happens when you're in isolation. So it wasn't gonna be like that dramatic, angsty moment like people wanted. Like, all of the time you would see this type of fan art with Pomni, like, hugging Jax and crying all over, being like, oh my god, don't let it overtake you, right? And Jax, like, half abstracted, trying to fight it or stuff like that. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. I think it was handled great. It could have been because of time constraint, I'm not sure. But I know for a fact that it shouldn't have been like the dramatic angsty moment like people wanted it to be. Wait, I'm about to read that comment, but let me say this first. However, when it comes to more conveyance, I thought that when we first saw Jax after he abstracted, I thought the abstractions that were already existing had escaped because it wasn't that clear. And I'm not sure if that was just me being dumb or it was the episode not leaving it be clear enough. I don't know. Okay, let me just read that. The pacing was insane. There needed to be so much more time added to the finale, in my opinion. It's weird because at times it feels so slow, like they were stretching the frick out of the beginning of it with all of the moping and the eye contact and all of the shots of them making like silly little triangles and circles. And after that it's like, okay, so we don't get any answers about Scratch or any of the previous members, or I don't know, the pacing was really off. Gotta say, Pomni also feels slightly out of character for not pushing Jax further. But after hearing the news of basically confirmation of, yeah, you're data, you're not a real person, right? I understand why she wouldn't lock in, why she wouldn't be in the mood to like deal with this. She wouldn't be as mentally strong as she always is. And also, it's implied that many days passed while they were learning how to conjure. Because as you can see here in the image, like you can see the stars going by super quick. So it was days and days when they started to conjure and trying to socialize with each other again, trying to get over the bad news. So I'm not saying that Pomni didn't care, and I'm not saying that she shouldn't have tried harder, but at the same time, like, can you really blame a person for another person's actions? Like, Pomni always wanted, and not just Pomni, Subtle and everyone wanted Jax to be included, and he just didn't take the opportunity. And that's basically the message of the whole episode, if not the whole series, at least with Jax's character. Like, you can have the possibility of a big support group, but you are so unwilling to be vulnerable that you end up destroying yourself and others around you, you know? But okay, getting a little crazy here. Also, I think it's interesting that we know how Subtle felt about Jax most of the time, and they were the first one to react, and their reaction was like anger and grief. And it was like, God fucking damn it, Jax, if only we could have helped you, you know? Why didn't you reach out? And here is when Gangle fucking is interesting. Sure, she's... Sorry, I completely destroyed the mic there. Sure, she is kind of like moody and everything, but she's the first one to go like, God, why can I not feel bad for him? And that was such an interesting thing to like portray. Like, if she is to be believed to be like an abuse victim, physical, mental, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, it's like, in a way kind of expected not to feel bad about what happens to your abuser. And the whole theming about the circus, in a way, it's like, hey, you gotta be human, you gotta be in touch with your humanity, try to be more empathic, try to be la la la, right? All of that. And it was so cool that her first reaction was not to, I don't know, like to feel bad, but after she sees Jax abstracted and how much the others try to help Jax, she does cry for her abuser despite it all, because she's human, and Subtle makes her realize this. Like, this is a good thing, it's a complicated feeling, but it just means that, yes, we are in this together, we are human, it's okay to feel these things. I don't know, I feel like such a cool thing to put, to display on well, on a character, really. I will also say, I mean, this is not me being like the goddamn ship wars or whatever, shipping wars, but I gotta say, Pomni being so buddy and close to Ragatha immediately after Jax abstracts, it just feels so double face. Pomni, you fucking bird. You fucking pick me, how dare you. No, but seriously, I don't know if it felt very earned for them to be so close right after that tragedy happened. I guess it makes sense because tragedy does bring people closer, but I don't know, fucking feels weird. Besides, Pomni immediately hugs Ragatha for a long ass time, and after that they are super touchy, and Pomni was supposed to not like being touched, so I don't know, kind of conflicting, you know? A lot of people do say that Pomni feels very out of character in this last episode, and I'm not sure if I fully agree, but I definitely see it. Oh. This is in my notes. How dare you keep Ragatha as your second choice and pretend she's besties? Man, fuck you, see you at work. Oh, that was funny. Okay. Now, speaking of conveyance again, the Caine montage, the montage confused me because I didn't think it was two separate scenes. I thought he figured out how to bring back abstracted characters, and I was like, oh my god, W or whatever his name, Scratch is back at the circus. I thought that was what was happening, but no. Wait. Summer. Same. I was so fucking confused. Yeah. I didn't realize it was supposed to be two different scenes. One with him making the characters for the first time, and the other ones now him getting close to the internet and getting the information of the real circus members. Maybe like a sepia tone would have been better at conveying that this was the past instead of the present. But I guess the shape should have been the clues, like Caine being like the red circle or whatever. It was just a little bit unclear. I will also say regarding Caine, his redemption is somewhat welcome because I do like him. And it also makes sense that the file wasn't completely gone from the computer because, I mean, maybe he went to the recycling bin, or some of the leftover files could have been there and the AI brought it back. I don't know. I think it makes sense. Basically, I think it makes sense. But it would have been a bit more heart-punching if he would have been like straight up dead. Anyways, but I mean, it's a different choice and I respect it. But I'm a little iffy about is that he basically lobotomizes himself and he acts like a wet puppy with with a tail between his legs around the others. It's like, oh guys, I'm sorry, I know I crashed out, but you know, it doesn't really feel like Caine himself. And I know that he has to suppress a lot of himself, especially when he took out the blue AI out of himself. But I don't know, it feels like, I mean, when are you gonna get over it? I guess we saw a little bit of that during the credits, but you know, I'm a little iffy on his redemption, because I do like him, but one, I think it would have been more shocking if he actually died, and two, he doesn't act like himself anymore. I will say, it's interesting, the parallel between Caine, who had a redemption, and Jax, who, well, didn't. The AI learns to become a better person and the human refuses to change and becomes a tragedy. You know? Is that the point of the, well, maybe not of the whole series, but is that the point that they were trying to leave us? Like, AI is learning to become more humanized, maybe? And you as a human can fuck up? I don't know. Is that the point? I will say this much. This is maybe a little bit of a... Wait, let me read this. I feel like it was just the Kinger's Code fix. It still went through. It just makes it awkward since it's so separated in time. Yeah. Maybe this is a little bit heavy-handed, but if you've seen my channel long enough, you know that I'm extremely supportive of, you know, the LGBTQ community. But I just gotta say, like, with the big message about Jax fucking up and not accepting herself, you know, just try, if you can, to be yourself. Queerness and self-acceptance is extremely important, and I really wish this whole time I could have been calling Jax a she, but she never came out, and her being trans is a secret that dies with Pomni now. I think a lot of people in the fandom, it's like, oh, we're gonna be referring to Jax as she now, but since she never actually came out, it's a secret. Wouldn't it be just kind of a dick move to call her a she, exposing her? I know she's not a real person, but that's why I always refer to Jax as a he. And like I said, I wish I could call her a she, but I can't. And that's the real tragedy of this episode, you know? And the whole character as a whole, I suppose. I will say there was a lot of pressure on Goose when all she wanted to do was make what is basically like a large-scale webcomic come to life. She was the only main writer, and there was always gonna be unhappy people with and some writing flaws. Nothing insanely major. I guess nobody can be 100% satisfied with the whole story. I think the message is there though, and I'm just happy I was along for the ride. I just hope she can rest now. And yeah, that was episode 9. I will say, this is gonna come across like an asshole, especially since I just said that whole speech about accept yourself. Wait, am I in the way? Yeah. Let me just move this a little bit. Look at how happy fucking everyone is after Jax abstracted. Can I just say that? Like, this freaking asshole mistreating everyone, making drama all over the place. And after he dies, everyone's like, oh hell yeah, we are closer than ever and we understand each other and we communicate more. It feels bad, you know. I truly feel bad for Goose. Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's interesting just how much I talked about episode 9 without mentioning Jax's role in the story. So let's do that really quick. I think it was interesting how episode 1 was basically retconned because Jax wasn't shown to care much about Kaufmo abstracting, and we just see that he was repressing himself. The whole story of him pushing his mother and not knowing if she was truly dead or not, I mean, that was pretty haunting. It's also super tragic that he didn't get to see what he became later in the real world. I gotta say, like, Pomni's hero complex, like, maybe it's not the healthiest, but it's admirable. Like, she was freaking willing to die. This music is not fitting. She was freaking willing to die when hugging Jax during the abstraction. And after knowing everything that he did, and it was just super crazy. I gotta say, I felt this. I mean, I watched this at the movie theater, and I felt this very, like, comforting warmth when Rivet put her bow on Jax, and she told him that, like, come on, you're safe, your secret is safe with me. And for the first time, for fucking seconds at least, for a few fucking seconds, it almost felt like we finally saw the real Jax. It's so tragic. Now, I'm not gonna justify fucking everything that Jax did, but I just wish she could have been herself, you know? And I think that's pretty much the end line here. Love or hate Jax, I don't care. I just wish she could have been herself. And okay, one thing I'm just gonna mention, because I didn't mention this image, the different type of personalities, like the what ifs if the others abstracted. I think it was interesting. It added some very needed levity to the episode, some comic relief, some outrageous lines, interesting character design in a way, with how they all look differently and how they act differently. I think it was pretty cool. Like I said, very needed levity, because the whole episode was like such a tearjerker. At the beginning, at least. Oh, and that's it. Okay. I'm happy you have a reasonable view on Jax. So many people are just unbearably hateful. Listen, I'm a Ragatha sim, so you can see probably I don't like Jax that much, but I feel, like I mentioned with Subble, like the queer empathy, that's such an important thing. Like, we really need to be there for each other, right? At least to a certain extent. And not just that, I mean, just be fucking an empathic human being for once. But like I said, don't be a fucking subject of abuse. That is not good. That is the lesson that Ragatha left us, you know? And Gangle. Like I said, Gangle, most underrated character development. Compare her in this last episode to the first episode, you're gonna see a massive change in personality. That's it. We're done. And this has been the grown-ass man talking about the Amazing Digital Circus for hours. And we gotta rate this episode, so what are we gonna rate it? Let me close my notes here. Okay. Like I said, I'm not gonna rate it here, I'm just thinking. Like I said, the pacing and the conveyance, big issues. It could have been better. It definitely could have been worse. It makes sense that Jax was the focus. I don't know. Maybe here? But I like the messaging though, so maybe. And it looked okay. The Stevie Wonder montage was a little goofy, but I liked it okay. Nothing wrong with a little bit of sap. You know, I can't put it in A or S because it left so many questions unanswered. And like I said, with the pacing and everything, I'm gonna leave it here. But yeah, that feels fair. People are allowed to hate him. It's just length people are going to ignore sympathy and be extra. Yeah. I mean, I also say this much. Whenever you're talking to somebody, at least an anonymous person, about the Amazing Digital Circus, you're most likely going to be talking to a kid. So try not to take things too personal. Okay, so that was the big one. Let's do this one, and I don't think I'll do the Friends one. I'm gonna leave this for the other one. So I have two left. This is the cast of Friends, the sitcom, and this is breakfast foods. So let's just do breakfast foods and call it a stream. Are you okay with that, Flux, or how long have I been streaming for? 3 hours? Fuck, 3 hours and 30 minutes. Ooh. I don't know, it's up to you. What do you say? I'm gonna close the other. No, because I like showcasing them at the end. I'm gonna eat a little bit of chocolate in the meantime. I feel like the grease helped out the throat a little bit, actually. Again, we have to go in a minute here, so we can really stick around. You know, I want to do more tier list streams. So I'm gonna leave the breakfast foods and the Friends for the next one. I feel like this stream was long enough. And we ended on a big note. So yeah, let's do that. Just a quick showcase because I like screenshotting them. Plants vs Zombies. VTuber tropes. This one was a joke one. White people phrases. Let me just... There we go. Wait, let me just get out of the way real quick. Sorry, I just wanna... Okay. Yeah, Amazing Digital Circus. And these are for next time. So... Thank you so much for joining me. It was great. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I'm glad I got to do it for the birthday, and I'm glad I got to eat my chocolate, and I'm glad you got to be here. I really wanted to talk about the digital circus because for a little bit at least, it was a big part of my life, and it brought me a lot of comfort, especially like Ragatha herself. So yeah, it was interesting, and I need to fix my controllers, so we might need to play games later on. It's gonna be a while. So next time, Resident Evil 4, the Crony game, or something else. With that being said, this has been Milkthrow. No, wait. Actually, this is fucking embarrassing. I've never done this with you here. I'm gonna leave you with the usual channel recommendations. If you wanna join the Flux the Forsaken Discord, you can find the link in his channel description. He streams on YouTube and Twitch, so follow them there if you want. You can also join the Discord, like I said. Midnight Koi is currently playing, I think, Disgaea. I don't know if he finished it already. Sora, sadly, like I said, is very much employed, so he hasn't been able to stream, but you can find him on the Midnight Koi sometimes streaming, and you can check his older works. We also have Luxo and Schnorty Schnort. Schnorty Schnort has been playing like Deltarune, Minecraft, and other types of games, so you can find him on Twitch. And yeah, as always, these are my recommendations. And now we say goodbye. It's embarrassing. I usually do it when you're not here. I kind of botched it, but who cares? Okay. Again, thank you for joining me. This has been Milkthrow, wishing you a nighty night and a bye bye bye. Ragusi, Ragusi, Ragusi.